And it takes forever to go live. StreamYard was like down all freaking day. So I was over there trying to get my Streamlabs downloaded on this computer, and I had to set up a whole new thing, and then it came back. So StreamYard is so much easier than Streamlabs, and especially if I'm going to do open panel because I'm not. Oh shoot, I'm not that familiar with Streamlabs and the open panel thing, but I do want to do open. Ooh, that light's flickering. I do want to do open panel. I don't even know if anybody's here yet. But I want to go over just some stuff first for Travis Decker. Yeah, Casey, for real. I thought they would have found him by now. I thought I was going to wake up. I canceled it yesterday. I thought for sure there was going to be a new update. I thought for sure. Like, dude, I mean, do you guys think he's dead? Hey, Raised in the Boondocks. Hey, Cassie. Hey, KV. That's true. Well, that's the thing. Even if he is dead somewhere, like, would they find him? I mean, it would take a while because I was seeing some pictures. Like, I mean, how can they even go through all of that? If he went through like oh, thanks. Yeah, my mom cut my hair. Do you like it? I like it. Yeah. She cut it yesterday. Um, okay. So first what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go over some of the facts of the case and videos and stuff. And then I'm gonna put out the link. And if you guys want to come up, the only thing though, you'll have to at least show your face to me backstage because you have the flashers that like try to ruin your live basically, and then it ruins your whole live. So if you could show me like backstage, just like flash your face real quick so I see it's a real person. It won't be shown to the public if you don't want, but yeah, I'll do that in a little bit. Oh, hey, Jonathan. Travis Decker, he killed his 3 daughters, suffocated or put a bag over their head, zip tied their hands, and suffocate them basically, and like threw them down. There's been like different reports. People just came out with articles saying that they were in the tent, but I mean, the cops are saying that they were down in an embankment, like kind of by his truck. He abandoned his truck. He basically disposed of his kids in a campground. 3 daughters. He just had a visit, like a 3-hour visit. It was supposed to be. He was homeless. So, oh, hold on. I want to send. Hold on. I'm going to go through all that, Jonathan. I just wanted to first get people to come in because there wasn't really anybody in there. Actually, I found screenshots of new pictures of them. I want to send to me. Hold on one second. Let me email me them. Okay, so let me read you like it's like 5 pages, uh, the details of it. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you guys may have already seen it, but maybe some of you guys are new to the case. So hold on one second. I'll show you a couple pictures first, and then I'll read that, and then play a couple videos. I was going through Facebook groups and have like different some interesting posts. Okay. Oh, let me open my thing real quick. Oh, let me do a goal. Now, the reason I'm not picking the winner, I remember we have a giveaway that I have to pick because my mom yell up. I said for the next Wade video because most of those people, most of the time, most of the people that are following Wade, they probably aren't going to be here. And I like to increase the probability that they are here when I announce the winner. It helps me out because sometimes they never see it. Like I have autism. She never got her gift card, which we redrew, I think. Um, she wasn't here when I drew it, and she never, I don't know where she's at. Like I put a community post. So I want to do it on the next Wade one because that's what I said I would do. But I am going to do a goal for this one while people are coming in, and while my photos are being sent, because I wanted to, they haven't been saying, hold on, good. I mean, not good, but sometimes it takes a minute for the there they are. Okay, cool. Anyway, how's everybody doing on this beautiful day? I'm feeling better today. Yesterday, dude, I was so freaking exhausted. I don't know, but I am feeling better today, so that's good because I did toss and turn again, which my bed is super comfortable. It's not because it's not comfortable. The last couple nights since I got my bed, I've been like wide awake. I'm exhausted feeling, but I cannot freaking sleep. I don't know what's wrong with me. And so it takes me forever. So I even went to bed early, toss, turn, and finally fell asleep. But instead of like getting up at 7:30 8 like I did the night before, uh you know, so I barely got any sleep. Today, I was like, "You know what? I'm sleeping in. I'm not getting up. I'm gonna fall back asleep," 'cause I did get up early, woke up, and then I just was like, "Oh, I'm sleeping a couple more hours." So, da, 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 da. I did that. Um, all right. So yeah, I feel better today is my whole point. So that's good. Hopefully it was just me not sleeping good. And I think weather change and maybe my diet, maybe it's a little bit of everything. So hopefully I'm on the track to feeling better because I was not liking it. Normally I like look forward to working on my channel and like that's what I want to spend all my time on basically. You know what I'm like it's fun to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I have like a motivated usually, but for the last, like, 2 weeks, I cannot get motivated for the life of me because I was exhausted. Okay, so let me show you some pictures real quick, and then I'll read that, document, which kinda, like, lays it all out. But let me show you some pictures first, okay? So let me share my screen. Okay, so here is some pictures of him and his kids because he was like, I guess, like a good dad originally. Then he just started going downhill. He was a vet, and he just then he became homeless. So no, that's not the one I mean. Yeah, you can see this, but here's some pictures of him and his daughters. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. On okay, this case sounds interesting. I'm in. I'm at work now, so I won't be able to pay attention much till 9 when I get home. Would you want me to come on later? Or did you ever look at them? Oh my god, I forgot. But Jonathan, it's not because I'm not interested, it's because I have been so exhausted. Like I haven't been doing normally like on my free time, I'm watching a lot of true crime. I haven't been. I just been like I took like 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks because I've been so exhausted. So now that I feel good today, hopefully it'll just continue to feel like energized again. So I'll look into it. It's not because I wasn't interested, I promise. I could barely do the cases that I was doing. Okay, so let me open this up. So yeah, here's a picture of him and his daughters before. Look at that. I mean, he looks so different now. You guys have seen that one picture where it looks like his teeth, you can barely see, but it kind of does look like his teeth are missing, like they're just like bad. He just looks, he just looks like a whole freaking different person. It's crazy. That's him and his two daughters. Like, does that even look like this guy? Hold on. This is what he looks like. Well, this is one of his pictures, but like kind of more recent. Like, man, I can't get this. There's a part here. Hold on. I can't get this out of here. Would anybody if I yeah, Jonathan, if I'm still alive at that time for sure, because it's open. But is anybody else gonna come up? Is anybody else interested coming up for open panel? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So that's a more what he more looks like. But actually, he's got longer hair right now, but I'm sure he could have cut it by now. But these are the most recent, these ones. There's a ring video camera of them. But here, let me go back. Oh, here's another one. So I'm sure he may have cut his hair. I mean, we don't know what he did, right? But so let me go back to now when he was normal, or not, I don't want to say normal, but like before he took a downward spiral. So here's a picture with his $3. Like I said, that he killed, he put a bag over their head, suffocated them, zip tied their hands. This has Chris Watts vibes to me. And I know they've been comparing him to Chad Duerman because remember, Chad Duerman's the one that killed his three sons. I see the similarities, but I also have this Chris Watts vibe for some reason because um I don't know. Like, I don't know why it just gives me the Chris Watts vibe. Like, there's not really any history of violence, but I guess there is, but there wasn't any reported. At first I was hearing like he wasn't violent, but then I watched what is the oh, what's her name? This one channel, true crime, it's like a duo of a guy and a girl. But they're talking about actually there was reports of like neighbors that seen basically they think that he was maybe abusive to his wife. So maybe there was some, but I don't know why at first before I realized there was abuse, I was getting this Chris Watts vibe because I was like, oh my God, non-violent, like out of the blue, wouldn't kind of out of the blue. I mean, I know he took a downward spiral, was homeless and stuff, but before that, like it seemed like they said he was a good dad before that, and then he obviously went downhill. But like I said, now that I see he may have been abusive to her, maybe it's a little bit different. But oh my God, does she not kind of look like Cece in that picture? So it's like kind of like a mixture, like Chad and Chris Watts combination in a way. Um, Maybe what happened would have happened to Chris if he would have, he might have went down. Well, I don't know. He was with NK. I don't know what would have happened if he didn't do that. Oh, that's a video. Hold on. We'll play that later. Um, Here's the Ingalls Creek area, which they thought he was at. I mean, okay, so let me read. Wait, what? Marnie? Who has been? Here's your three daughters. Um, Here's another couple pictures because it's important to get his picture up because he is still on the run. I mean, we don't know if he's alive or not, but I mean, he potentially could still be alive. They think he was spotted. What that was a couple days ago, where they think somebody spotted him. It was a guy. I think he was in shorts and t-shirt, where he wasn't dressed appropriate for the weather. He didn't have like gear, which that's kind of interesting. If he's not prepared, they said he didn't really have anything to prepare to live, but they said supposedly he has training that he could live off the land for a while. Maybe he could survive military training, and they said he was like didn't want to be seen, kind of like ran off and didn't want people to see him, and then a helicopter had spotted somebody, and then the person ran off. So they think, I mean, he has been spotted, but I think the last time he was spotted was a couple days ago, right? So I don't know. That makes me think though that he wasn't, because if he was going to take his own life, he probably would have done it by then. So that makes me think he was going to try to survive. Now, could he? I mean, he's out with nature, he's out with wildlife. Maybe something happened. He's the terrain that he's in could be dangerous. So he could have died a different way too. But that's him. Isn't that crazy how he looks different in like every picture? Look, like, I mean, you could tell it's him in some. The one that you can't tell it's him, this confuses me like this. I mean, I know after like I really look, I'm like, okay, I mean, it's obviously him, but it's like I would never have guessed that's him. It's so crazy that he literally does look different in a lot of the pictures. Um, and then here's the video. There's no audio. Hold on. That this wasn't this after. Forgive me, guys. I just started looking into this case yesterday. This was, I think, wasn't this right after or right? Wait, right. I don't know. Remind me when this ring was taken from, guys, because I'm not too proud to admit I don't know everything. Sometimes I learn it as I go. I will know everything. I'll learn, but right now, like I don't. I know this was sometime around near the time it all happened, but I can't remember if it was right after, right before. Yeah, right before. Okay, thank you. Okay, so here's a picture of the three daughters. All right, so let me read. Oh, wait, here's another picture of him and the doll. Okay. Gosh, what happened? Like, did he just have a mental break? What is going on downstairs? That's his ex and his three daughters. Okay. All right, so let me read the document, and then I have some like interesting like posts that how I do it. Usually I go in like groups and try to find interesting things. Okay, so let me read this first, and then Just so, because there are people that might not be familiar with this case, and it kind of gives you a breakdown of it. How's everybody doing, by the way? Let me take one more sip. Yeah, right. You do? Are you kind of scared? How far away is that from where? I bet you people in that Washington are like kind of, I mean, he could be dangerous, you know? They say he's they keep I've been hearing like he's armed, but how do they know he's armed is what I want to know. Is that just like like a, well, just in case he's armed? Because I swear I've heard him say he was armed. But okay, so on May 30th, so that was just what, 2 weeks ago, basically, around 2 weeks ago, because today is what, June 12th. So May 30th, 2025, at around 21:34. Um, so that's what, 9:34. Whitney D. Decker arrived in the lobby at the WPD to report a civil complaint. She advised patrol that her ex-husband, Travis C. Decker, had failed to return the three children at 2000 hours. So that would be, he was supposed to return them at 8. So it's an hour and 34 minutes late. She goes in worried, like, hey, he was supposed to return him at 8. It's 9:34. He's not here. In violation of their agreed upon and court ordered parenting plan. Oh, I see, Cass. Thank you. Thank you. So that makes sense. I see. Corporal Gonzalez noted Whitney appeared distraught and looked like she had recently been crying. She advised that her and Decker were previously married, but had been divorced for several years and have 3 children together. Along with the divorce, the two had a parenting plan in place, with the most current one issued by a judge on September 27th, 2024. The current parenting plan limits Decker's visitation to every other weekend with specific hours of Fridays from 5 to 20. Oh, so I'm trying to think what time. So that's 5. Wait, 5. Because if they're going by military time, that's 5 a.m. to 8. Okay, so he has quite a few hours if that's what it, if that's right. I was thinking it was 3 hours. Why was I thinking they said 3 hours? So maybe that's supposed to be 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Because I swear I thought it was a 3 hour visit. But why would they switch from military time to regular time? Anyway, I don't know. Um, well, thanks, Jonathan. Pressure can become overwhelming if he's on the run, and eventually that can make him kill themselves, like brain laundry. Oh, Brian Laundry, yes. Um, I get dyslexic. No, I do that sometimes too. I was saying because it says brain, it's like brain laundry. Did you see the Coburger case, the Idaho House video? Which video are you talking about? Oh, I followed that case, but I haven't in the last couple weeks. If there was something new, no. Was there a new video that popped up recently? Whoa, if there is, I haven't. If it was in the last couple weeks, no. But I definitely, is it 5 a.m. to 8 p.m.? Okay. I know that's what it says, but I swear that I heard 3 hour visit. But no, I mean, this definitely says if this is military time, I mean, it is because the 20. So, I mean, it does say 5 a.m. So that's what, uh, thir or 15 hour or wait, 15 hours he gets? 5 a.m. is so early though. I don't know. I mean, okay, Saturdays from 11 to 1900. So that'd be 11 a.m. to, I always have to count on my fingers. Even though I could do the math, but with my OCD, like I could do the 9 minus 2, like to figure out like, but I always have to double check it because my OCD, it's like I have to make sure. So I have to count out my fingers. So that's 7. So 11 to 7 p.m. he gets on Saturdays, and then I guess 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. Fridays, Saturdays, because he doesn't get overnights. So every other weekend he gets what, 15 hours with him on Friday, if that's correct, and then he gets another 8 hours with him on Saturday, and then on Sunday he gets 9 a.m. to 5. So he gets, wow, another 8 hours. So, I mean, he does get, well, every other weekend, he gets like, I think they have it set up because normally it would be like overnight, the whole weekend. But since he doesn't have a place to live, he's homeless. So she doesn't feel safe to let him stay where he's staying or stay in the car. So they make it hours where he gets like the whole day basically without the overnight. The order also specifies no overnight visits, and the visits will only occur in the Wenatchee Valley. Uh, yeah, I know. He's homeless. I know that. Yep. Okay. Whitney reported that Decker picked up their daughters from her residence at around the scheduled time of 1700 hours. So he picked them up at 5. But see what I'm saying though, guys? 1700 is 5, right? PM. Friday is when he picked them up. That's when they disappeared, right? So, right? But wait. Yeah. So the scheduled time, 5 o'clock. So this is wrong. This is supposed to, they mixed up military time with regular time because this says 5 a.m. This is 5 p.m. So I think it's supposed to be 5 p.m. because I remember hearing that it was a 3 hour visit that time. So I think Friday's supposed to be 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Because right here, the scheduled time, and that's Friday at 5 p.m., but did not return around 2000 hour or around 8 p.m. basically. She stated she attempted to call Decker multiple times, but his cell phone goes straight to voicemail, which typically means the cell phone is off or out of service. Yeah, they just mixed up. They mixed up military time with regular time, which is, do you know how many typos are in these documents? They do it all the time. It's crazy. Um, Anyway, so he it goes straight to voicemail. Whitney expressed concern because Decker reportedly has never done this before, and further noted he is currently experiencing some mental health issues. At the time of the initial report, Whitney explained that Decker does not currently have a stable residence and is considered homeless. He is known to often stay in hotels or motels, or he camps at local campgrounds. But Whitney did not know where to find him. Corporal Gonzalez stated he attempted Decker's cell phone number. Well, I guess it doesn't matter now, but when it went straight to voicemail, identifying the cell phone as Decker's. Whitney knows Decker drives a white truck, but was unsure what kind. She, however, noted that he had recently been cited for driving without insurance. Wow. So wait, like, was he going to take his kids in the car without insurance? Let's see what it says. Corporal Gonzalez conducted a record search and identified Decker's truck as a white 2017 GMC Sierra. He had been in a collision on May 27th. So a couple days before that, he was actually in a collision. And was in fact cited for some infractions following the investigation by WPD patrol. It also appears he was in another collision on May 4th, 2025, but left the scene. Wait, so he was in one May 4th, left the scene, but then was in one after, and they didn't like arrest him for leaving the scene in the first one? Call notes say there was no damage to the other vehicle when patrol arrived, and the other driver declined a need for follow up. Okay. Sorry, I didn't read all this. I just skimmed through it. I was like, I'll just read it with you guys. Okay, so Corporal Gonzalez checked Decker's vehicle registration through Flock Safety and found the truck last registered by automatic license plate readers northbound on the Wenatchee Bridge at 1741 hours. So it was, they picked it up, the automatic license reader that day at 1741, which would have been what, 41 minutes after he picked up the kids, I guess. I mean, yeah. He noted this was likely after Decker picked up his daughters and suspected he may be headed to a hotel or a campground in the North End. After the contact with Whitney, Corporal Gonzalez checked all hotels, motels in the city limits, as well as Confluence State Park. While at the confluence, he spoke to a park ranger and was able to check their camping roster. Decker was not listed as staying at any campsite. East Wenatchee PD Officer Conley was contacted and asked to check East Wenatchee motels and hotels for Decker's vehicle. After a search of the area, Decker's vehicle was not located. Given the circumstances, an attempt to locate ATL was initiated for all Valley agencies to be on the lookout for Decker, his vehicle, and the children. Corporal Gonzalez investigated further and consulted with the Washington State Patrol Missing and Endangered Person Unit. He provided the facts of the case to screen for an Amber Alert, but based on the fact there was no current evidence to believe the children were at risk of serious bodily injury or death, it did not qualify. Whitney was advised of the updates and inability to locate the children, Decker, or his vehicle. She was advised to call Rivercom immediately if and when she hears from Decker. On May 31st, 2025, there was a large social media presence looking for information into the whereabouts of Decker and the children. By the time I saw the social media post, it was clear that Whitney had not been able to contact Decker for over 12 hours. And for WPD's pass down, it was noted that one of the children had an event planned at the local park the morning of that Decker and the children never showed up. With a continued concern about the lack of communication from Decker, I met with Whitney at her parents' house, or her parents' residence in Wenatchee to get further details. Whitney explained that she and Decker were married for about 7 years, but have since been divorced for a few years. She explained the divorce was civil, and initially Decker had housing and was allowed overnight visits. However, when he lost housing, the parenting plan was readdressed to accommodate accordingly. Whitney denied any domestic violence during their marriage, but did mention moments of power or control he used. She provided the example of randomly leaving or waking her up by screaming at her in the middle of the night. See, that's what I was thinking, no violence, but I watched that video with and they're credible creators. It's the guy that was like a cop and the girl, what is their name? I can't think, but I was listening to it in the shower yesterday, and they said there was no reported, but they said a neighbor or something had seen signs of like abuse or whatever, but she never reported it. So I don't even know. Maybe it's not true. Maybe he wasn't abusive. I mean, right here they're saying she denied it. You would think her parent or her kids are missing. This is important information to know. And if she's desperate to get an Amber Alert or to get them to act serious and to think there could be harm, you would think that she would be honest and be like, yes, domestic violence. So then maybe, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. The video I was watching, they said the reason they think she didn't is because he was probably never violent with the kids, and she probably never thought that he would be. I don't know. Crime Watch, that's what it is. Thank you, Lane. Yes. What's her name? The girl. She has a her own channel, but she does that thing with him. What is her name again? I barely watch her. Like once in a while for a case, I'll watch her. I watched her for that one case. They did a series on that guy that got out of jail. No, I can't even think of his name. Stephanie Harlow. Yes. So they were saying that there was like a witness neighbor or something that had seen, like, I forget now what they said she's seen, but it was like evidence of abuse, that he like physically abused her. Anyway, so they're saying Whitney denied any domestic violence during their marriage, but did mention moments of power or control. Oh, I just read that. Sorry. She provided examples of randomly leaving or waking her up by screaming at her in the middle of the night. She also said near the end of the marriage, he was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder that she believes he currently does not take medications for. While married, Whitney and Decker had 3 children in common. She identified them as 9-year-old, 8-year-old, and 5-year-old. They reportedly have a good relationship with Decker and enjoy their time with him. The overall relationship was reported to be good, and the children enjoy their time with Decker. Whitney also reported no issues with recent visitations and stated her and Decker are communicative with issues surrounding them, and if either will be late for any reasons. So it sounds like, there was no really signs that he would have done this to the children, basically, is what I'm hearing so far. Besides, mental health stuff, but like that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people have mental health stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It's important piece of the puzzle, don't get me wrong, but Um, yeah, yep, Sandra. Yeah, see, that's what I heard first, and that's why I kept thinking Chris Watts vibes, like, everybody thought he was a good dad and loved his kids and not violent, so I was getting more Chris Watts vibes than Chad Dewar, because we know Chad Dewar was abusive, that was known, he treated her like crap, like, that was known when that happened, so that's why I was like, "Yeah, I get the whole 3 and 3, but, like, it gives me more Chris Watts vibes because he actually appeared to be a really good dad besides, he's homeless now and stuff, but anyway, let's see. Says she reiterated that Decker has never failed to return the kids. The parenting plan provided by Whitney specifies the visitation hours and discusses holiday and birthday considerations. Notable concerns are reasons putting limitations of parenting show Decker has neglected his parental duties and has a long term emotional or physical problem that gets in the way of his or her ability to parent. The plan also notes details about access to the children and the ability to talk with them via cell phone when needed. Whitney said they agreed to the plan, but the signature line states Decker refused to sign. Decker is also supposed to seek mental health treatment and DV anger management counseling under the parenting plan, but has not. See, that makes me think that she is holding back something, and I'm not blaming her. That's not what I'm doing. So don't get what I'm saying wrong. But I wonder because I mean, anger management. I wonder if well, she did say he would scream at her and stuff. So, huh. The exchange on Friday night occurred without issues. However, Whitney noted Decker was quieter than usual, which was out of character. She mentioned the recent ticket being a financial burden for him, along with garnished wages due to back child support. She then added that he has been talking about getting rid of his dog due to housing and further financial concerns. Whitney stated his children and his dog are the two big positives in his life. Whitney also stated when overnight camping trips have been allowed, they have been planned in advance with clear details of the plans. The children also leave with a bag of clothing and appropriate attire to spend the night outdoors. When they left the home, they had the clothes on their back. As of June 2nd, 2025, at 9 a.m., there has been no contact with Decker and oh, I thought that. Okay, for a minute, I was like, did they get the date wrong? But no, this is June 2nd. Okay, at 9 a.m., there has been no contact with Decker, and his cell phone continues to go voicemail, straight to voicemail when called. He has failed to return the children on Friday, May 30th on 2025 at 8 o'clock. He failed to return the children on Saturday, May 31st at 1900, which is 7 o'clock. He failed to return the children Sunday at 5 o'clock, June 1st. So basically, like, yeah, he just didn't return them Friday. They've been gone ever since Friday. Decker then failed to show up to work this morning, and his boss noted some recent mental health concerns. Given that Decker has failed to return the children when directed and with no open communication with Whitney, it is believed there is an intent to withhold the children permanently from Whitney. And given that he has superposed 3 different schedule times for return of the children, it is believed that he is well past a protracted period of time. And given the children left home with no supplies for extended time, it is believed there's a substantial risk of illness or physical injury. Therefore, there was probable cause to arrest Travis Decker for 3 counts of custodial interference in the first degree. And on June 2nd, 2025, a warrant for his arrest was requested and later granted by Chelan County Superior Court. Probably pronouncing it wrong. I'm sure you guys will let me know. um, so yeah, June 2nd had warrant for his arrest. In an active attempt to locate Decker and the children, law enforcement utilized a variety of resources and known tools to include cell phone records and timing advance, automatic license plate readers, canvassing of the area for security, search of possible locations in the region, and social media. On Monday, June 2nd, 2025, a larger and more intensive search was conducted across Chelan County with the help of CCSO and eventually family, friends, and volunteers as people began to learn about the children's disappearance. At around 15:56 hours on June 2nd, so what is that? 3:56, almost 4 o'clock on June 2nd, Deputy McCleod located Decker's vehicle unoccupied in the area of Rock Island Campground in Leavenworth, Washington, off Icicle Road with the nearest city town of Leavenworth. The campground is located in unincorporated Chelan County in the state of Washington. Law enforcement personnel from Chelan County Sheriff's Office and Wenatchee Police Department, along helicopter support from Homeland Security investigations, converged into the area, approximately 75 to 100 yards past where the vehicle was located and down a small embankment. CCSO deputies located the bodies of 3 school-aged children. Due to current safety concerns and scene preservations, the bodies have yet to be approached, but there are some clear signs of lividity. So remember, this is obviously they're approached by now, but this is from when they first found them. Signs of lividity. Each has plastic bag over the head. Based on the totality of the circumstances, including the proximity to the vehicle and visible attire of the bodies, which is consistent with the clothing the children were wearing when they were transferred to Decker for visitation. They are presumed to be PDEDOD. So that's the initials. Decker's location is currently unknown, and there's currently a coordinated effort to search the immediate area, if not further, for him, so the scene we have can be searched. Around the vehicle and along the way to where children are located, deputies located zip ties and plastic bags strewn throughout the area. So remember, they had zip ties in their hands, but there was a bunch of zip ties, I guess, around the area too. The tailgate of the pickup truck also has what appears to be 2 handprints of blood. The truck has personal items to include blankets, car seats, food, miscellaneous items, and a wallet on the center console. And the weird thing is the blood had male DNA and non-human, which I think maybe he got attacked by a wildlife. You know what I'm saying? When he was out there getting rid of the bodies or whatever, maybe he actually got attacked, like got bitten by some kind of animal, and that's why there's animal blood or non-human blood in his blood. That's what I'm guessing. Or he was hunting with his hands or something to eat. During the search of the area, an abandoned camp was located at nearby in the approximate area of with signs of recent activity. The camp consists of a fire pit, tent, and cooler within a short walk from where the vehicle and bodies were located. No, I read somewhere that the dog was is taken in and was okay, unless if that post wasn't accurate. It was on one of the Facebook groups. They said the dog was safe and was taken in, rescued. But like I said, sometimes those posts, it could, sometimes what's on Facebook isn't accurate. So I can't say for sure, but somebody had posted that. So I don't know. But that's true. If the dog hasn't been found yet, yes, it could be his dog. But does anybody know? That's a good point. Even if the dog was found, yeah, maybe he was trying to get rid of it and it got away. You're right, Lane. That could be too. So I wonder if they did find the dog, if it had any cuts or anything wrong with it. Mesa Penosa, I didn't see anything that said that outruled him, that it wasn't his blood. Are you sure? I don't know if maybe they didn't figure that out yet, because are you saying for sure it wasn't his? Because I haven't seen anything to show that they're saying it wasn't his. I mean, they didn't say it was, they just said male blood and then a human or non-human. that's the case, that's weird then. Did he kill another guy or something? Yeah, that's what I don't think either. I don't think they said either way for some reason. Maybe they didn't test it yet or something. But I don't know for sure. Like I said, I'm still learning like you guys are. Some of you guys probably know a lot more than me about it. Okay. Cell phone records, Decker's cell phone acquired. Wait, cell phone cell phone records, Decker's cell phone acquired. Saturday or acquired Saturday under exigency, exigency. I can't say that good. Show that Decker likely traveled to the area on Thursday, May 29th, 2025 evening. So basically before he picked up the girls, right? And returned Wenatchee Friday morning. So they think he probably got to the camp area that night before he picked up the girls. Under the totality of the situation, it appears that Decker drove through the area the night prior and returned the next day. So then he left his car there. That's crazy. But returned the next day with his children. Preliminary examinations suggest the likely cause of death was asphyxiation. Their wrists were also tied, or their wrists were also zip tied or showed signs of being zip tied. They were also positively identified at as the children by Chelan County coroner. There's probable cause to arrest Travis C. Decker for 3 counts of murder in the first degree and 3 counts of kidnapping first degree. He's certified under penalty of perjury. So crazy, I tell you. Yeah, this has to be wrong. People, this is what I wanted to show you guys because people put out an article. I'm gonna believe the official report over this. They're saying that the 2 of them were in the tent. That's not what it said. So I don't listen to that. I just wanted to show you how wrong sometimes media could be, or how you could hear different stories. Okay, so let's see what else I have before I play any videos. I just screenshot some things. So this is update from Chelan County. Now remember, not all this is going to be brand new stuff. I just kind of like grab different interesting posts that I thought. So this says from the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, our office recently received a tip from a hiking party who stated they spotted a lone hiker in the encampments area who appeared to be ill prepared for the trail and weather conditions and appeared to be avoiding others. Tracking teams immediately acted upon the information and spotted a lone off-trail hiker um, from a helicopter near Kolchak Lake who ran from sight as a helicopter passed. Additional assets were called to the area while they developed a plan to track the individual. Teams later picked up a trail and deployed canines to the area, tracking the subject to the area of Ingalls Creek Trailhead on Highway 97. So it's likely to assume that that was probably him. Both of them probably, I would guess. And here's a picture of him. Another picture, and then let's see what this post says. So this says special kind of evil to kill your own kids. Oh, and this person says he works for the same company I do, and I worked with him quite a bit. The things he told me a year ago about his ex-wife had put what his ex-wife had put him through might have pushed anyone over the edge. She took everything and left him with nothing except homelessness. I can't condone or understand what he did, nor do I believe he is still alive. So, like I said, these are posts on Facebook groups, so take them with a grain of salt. You know, some of them, sometimes it's legit people that really are the people they say. Sometimes they lie. I mean, you just never know. But I always find it interesting because, sometimes you do find really good information that's like, or like you find like people that knew him or people that were there or people that seen something. So this is Jim McAdams. He says, I saw someone on Highway 2 west of Leavenworth today on the side of the road. When I turned around to check, they had their face covered. He did match the description and looked tired. I did call it in. And then this is the Ingalls. This is the area that they said they saw him run into this area, right? Clearly not an area he would get he would have service to get on the internet and keep tracking of anything going on in the investigation. So yeah, beautiful though. Oh, beautiful to go camping. What is this? Okay, so this is from 6/10/2025 is when this was updated. So this is a immediate release. It says tracking teams believe they are on Decker's trail. Community support and tips are still needed. Law enforcement have tracked a subject believed to be Decker into Blewett Pass Highway 97 area. We are asking for the public, especially those who live or have cabins in the area, to remain highly vigilant and report any suspicious activity. First off, we here at CCSO want to thank the countless hours spent on this search by men and women of law enforcement from a vast number of agencies across our region, state, nation. The amount of work that has been accomplished thus far could not have happened without them, and we are forever grateful. Our office recently received a tip from a hiking party who stated they spotted a lone hiker in the enchantments area who appeared to be ill prepared for trail weather conditions and appeared to be avoiding others. Tracking teams immediately acted upon the information and spotted a lone off trail hiker from a helicopter near Kolchak Lake who ran from the site as the helicopter passed. Additional assets were called to the area while they developed a plan to track the individual. Teams later picked up a trail and deployed canines to the area, tracking the subject to the Ingalls Creek trailhead. Sorry, I know it's the same thing that was posted, but I just wanted to show you it was on this. And then hikers, if you have been in the enchantments area within the last week and have seen anything suspicious, please contact the tip line with any information you may have. Additionally, if you were a solo hiker in the area recently, please contact the tip line immediately with your information. Investigators will follow up. As the search continues in the area, we're asking that anyone who may have a cabin or reside in the area report any suspicious activity, lock your doors and vehicles, and look out for your neighbor's property. If you have any cameras, including trail cameras in the area, please check them or submit a tip to the U.S. Marshals tip line with the location of the camera for law enforcement to check. While federal agencies lead the continued search, CCSO detectives remain strongly engaged on the murder investigation, processing evidence and tracking down more potential evidence to build a strong case for prosecution. We want to sincerely thank the hard work of our detective division led by Sergeant Lewis and East Cascade SWAT team led by Sergeant Frank, Sergeant Foreman, and Deputy Eagle, who have put in several hundred hours, combined hours of work since locating Evelyn Payton and Olivia deceased on June 2nd, 2025. For our citizens and communities, we are grateful for our outpouring of support you have given to all of our members. A special thank you to the Wenatchee Blue family, Soup Ladies, and other local entities that have provided all the law enforcement personnel with meals, snacks, drinks, coffee, bug spray, sunscreen, and other countless essential items that keep us moving. Okay, so then it says, United States Border Control has taken over operations and command for the search of Mr. Decker. Under their direction, they are continuing to follow on tips from the community while working closely with our other federal entities, while we, along with our regional partners, remain available to assist where it's needed. We ask the public to report tips regarding Mr. Deckers to U.S. Marshal. There is a $20,000 reward, or up to $20,000. The United States Marshal's Office is offering it. Any information that directly leads to tracking or lead directly to Travis Decker. The suspect should be considered armed and dangerous. If you see him, please call 911. Do not attempt to approach him. And you can call the U.S. Marshal's Office 1-800-336-0102, or you can go to www.usmarshal.gov/tips. Okay, so let's see what else here real quick. What is this one? Oh, this is given all the info you could find on the case, do you think Travis is alive in the woods somewhere else, or do you think he killed himself? Based on the available information, it's plausible that Travis is still alive and evading capture rather than have taken his own life. Factors suggest Decker may still be alive. Military and survival training. Decker is a former Army soldier with extensive training in wilderness survival. Reports indicate he has previously lived off grid for up to 2.5 months. Oh, wow. suggesting he possesses the skills necessary to survive in remote areas for extended periods. Evidence of pre planning. Court documents reveal that Decker visited the Rock Island campground a day before the abduction, indicating possible premeditation. This suggests he may have planned an escape route or survival strategy in advance. Abandoned vehicle with personal items. His truck was found near a crime scene containing personal items such as blankets, food, car seats, and his wallet. The presence of these items could indicate an attempt to mislead investigators or a strategy to travel light while on foot. Number 4, ongoing manhunt and lack of evidence of unaliving. Despite an extensive search involving federal agencies, including the FBI and U.S. Marshals, Decker remains at large. No evidence has been found to suggest he has taken his own life, such as a body or a note. Factors that could suggest unaliving. Mental health issues. Decker was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and was reportedly not adhering to his prescribed medication regimen. His ex-wife noted a decline in his mental health leading up to the incident. Financial and personal stress. He was experiencing homelessness, financial difficulties, and was undergoing a disciplinary discharge from the Washington National Guard. These stressors could contribute to unaliving ideation. Oh, shoot. However, the absence of concrete evidence supporting the unaliving theory, combined with his survival skills and strategic abandonment of his vehicle, leans the probability towards him being alive and in hiding. Authorities continue to urge the public to report any sightings and have offered $20,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. There's the girls. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they don't. It doesn't seem like they think he is in Canada, and they got people at the border and stuff. So hopefully they'll be able to catch him. Let me take a sip of this real quick. Okay. So here, this is so confusing. And so this was on a thing, and I was like, wait. At first, it was like I was thinking, is that Kurt Russell's blood? Like, what's it saying? And then I was reading comments, and people were saying the same thing. Like, at first, I was thinking they were saying that. I was like, no, that can't be. I don't know why they have this right in the middle of this article, but somebody posted this little screenshot, and it says, something authorities collected a significant amount of evidence, including many of the suspect's personal items from the truck found at the scene. There, this is where I got it. Right here. The suspect's dog was safely turned over to the Humane Society. Blood samples from the scene revealed one belonged to a man, while another was non human. Further DNA and fingerprint analysis are ongoing. An autopsy completed on Friday determined the cause of death to be, suffocation with the manner of death ruled as homicide. At 6 p.m. Sunday night, the command for search operations was handed over to federal authorities. Local resources needed rest, and the command staff remained engaged with the search. The CCSO continues to lead the criminal investigation. Any new information about the suspect's location will be shared with search teams. Authorities acknowledge public frustration over the lack of details, but emphasize the need to protect the investigation's integrity. They appreciate the public's patience and cooperation during this complex investigation. So I don't know Fox. This is Fox. So yeah, Fox is pretty trustworthy. So they're saying the dog was safely turned over. So, what do I have this for? Sometimes I got to remind myself what. Oh, that's why. So somebody had copied this because this guy, look, this guy commented this under one of these videos. He was spotted south of where the bodies of a 9-year-old Peyton. And then he writes, this Charles says, if you see Travis Decker, no, you didn't. We ain't snitching. And somebody says, what the hell? And then he says, I will autopsy him and drag him to the authorities myself. So then somebody just screenshot this in the group, like I said. So then they went and found his profile and like showed that he does live in Washington. That's, You always have that one person, and I almost feel like it's for attention. They know that it's gonna stick out if they say something like that. Like, I don't think it's really, this guy, like, has anything to do with it. It's just I feel like he's just trying to say something so crazy that people are gonna talk about it maybe. I could be wrong, and maybe he does, but isn't that sick? Stupid. Like, what's the guy's name from the Koberger case? That was a little bit different, but he knew certain details before it came out, so a lot of people thought he was Brian. But what's his name? Or the name? I can't even think right now for some reason. If I see it, I'll remember. But yeah. Okay. So this says Thomas, 35, told Daily Mail exclusively that his brother's actions, which his brother is Travis, are unrecognizable from when they were children, and begged him to stop this evil and turn himself in after the bodies of his children, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, were found near Rock Island Campground. Yeah. And it says, but Thomas said he had to eventually cut off Travis, adding that he was spreading lies about me and I just no longer wanted to deal with it. I have worked hard for what I have accomplished, and I did not want his lies to ruin my career or anything else. So I told myself I would not communicate with him anymore. And to cut him off was tough. We grew, and it sucks because the rest is somebody screenshot it, so I don't have the rest of it. Let me see if I can find out what. Oh, it's Daily Mail. I'll look it up. Hold on. Because I want to read the rest of that article. But sometimes when you get, why is that? Hold on a second. Why is that? Let me just do something really quick. Cut. Okay. There we go. All right. I know, that's crazy. Hey, Brianna, how are you? All right. Let's see what I have next real quick. I'll look that up. Hold on, Daily Mail. Actually, while I'm looking that up, let me play one of the videos I have while I look up that article. Just the curiosity of what else it says. Let me play one of these here. I got a good one to play. It's kind of interesting. This one right here. All right. There we go. Let's play this.
News for the most hated dad in America, charged with murdering his 3 beautiful young daughters, with authorities now thinking he may have fled to Canada. This comes as the children's mother is sharing never-before-seen photos of her little girls that were supposed to be posted this weekend for Father's Day, but are now a painful reminder of what she lost. Amber Cagliano reports.
They're heartbreaking images of 3 beautiful girls and the dad accused of killing them all. This is Travis Decker with 2 of his daughters in stars and striped swimsuits. And here he and his daughter beam in matching tops. The slideshow to Pharrell Williams' song Happy was put together by the girl's mom, Whitney, as a Father's Day tribute before the murders. Whitney says her ex, who served in Afghanistan, tried to get help about his mental health issues, but was unsuccessful.
When you look at Travis's history as a father, Travis loved those little girls. He was an active dad. There was really no red flag.
Police released new images of Travis Decker in hopes someone may recognize him, perhaps from his tattoos.
He could be outside of the state or even possibly outside of our country. My hope is that he's still within our immediate geographical area and is just trying to bed down and evade us.
Authorities revealed that just before Decker disappeared, he used his computer to conduct Google searches on how to relocate to Canada and Jobs Canada. The Washington State campsite where little Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia were found asphyxiated is about 200 miles from the Canadian border.
A GoFundMe account set up for the mother of the slain children has raised more than $1 million.
Okay, sorry, I was finishing that message. So, yeah, so her attorney saying how like he was a good father, like to hear her attorney say that, it's just so weird. So it just makes it like more mind-boggling. Like, what the heck? Yeah, avocado. It looks like he was supposed to get it, but he just hadn't got it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Um, all right, so I found that article, so let me play that or read that, the one about his brother that they interviewed his brother that I was reading from with all these ads. I still got to get an ad blocker. Okay. So Travis Decker now missing wilderness after or what sorry, in Washington state's wilderness after allegedly murdering his 3 daughters. Had a history of escalating violence according to his brother, who revealed Travis's violent reaction when his family attempted to hold an intervention. I'm glad I did find this in carbonated. I'm just not used to drinking carbonated stuff, but except when I have these or I have my carbonated water. Oh, I've been drinking that a lot too. My mom got me. She went to the store and got me a bunch of them. The ice, is it silver? What's it called? Something ice. That water. I can never think of the name of it, but so good. Carbonated water that has it's only 5 calories. It's so sweet. It's like the best flavored carbonated water ever. It's like it tastes like a pop. And it has like just a little bit of sugar, but it's just from juice. There's no sugar substitute at all. It's just the little bit of sugar from like the little bit of juice it uses. 5 calories. It's so good. Sparkling ice. Thank you. Why can't I ever think of it? Oh, yes, it is a good time. I'm finally able to enjoy it. Like I said, the last couple weeks I've been so tired. Today's the first day I feel like that I really like woke up, not like actually all day. It's been feeling really good. So I don't want to knock on wood. I don't want it to. Where is All Sane? Casey, are you using only mod here? Or wait, is Casey still here? No, All Sane, you are. All Sane, have you been here this whole time? Or did you just get here, right? Casey? All Sane? Okay, wait, you have been here. Oh my lord. Oh, how are you? I'm just now seeing you. Is Soul here? Let me text her. Oh, let me text her just so. Yeah, saying I didn't see you. I didn't think you were here, but you have been. Okay. Anyway, so okay, they attempted an intervention. Thomas, 35, told Daily Mail exclusively that his brother's actions are unrecognizable from when they were children and begged him to stop this evil and turn himself in after the bodies of his children were found near Rock Island campground. Authorities started the search for the 3 little girls after they failed to return home from a scheduled visit with their father on May 30th. 3 days later, they were found suffocated with plastic bags over their heads and found and bound with zip ties. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office confirmed. Shortly after, a no bail arrest warrant was issued for Travis, 32, on 3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of kidnapping. Now, in the second week of the manhunt, authorities believe they are closing in on the Army vet, writing in a Facebook post. Our office recently received a tip from a hiking party who stated they spotted a lone hiker in the enchantments area who appeared to be ill prepared for the trail weather conditions and avoiding others. Tracking teams immediately acted and spotted him. Okay, I remember that's the 3rd time now reading the same thing. Sorry, that part. But they spotted on the helicopter, and then he like ran off. Okay. So, but Thomas tells the Daily Mail he does not know if his younger brother will surrender when confronted by law enforcement. This has got to be his brother. He looks like his brother. Yep. Well, yep, you could tell they're brothers. Thomas, picture with wife Jessica, spoke exclusively to Daily Mail about his brother's alarming change in behavior over the past 3 years and issued a desperate plea for Travis to turn himself in. Oh, I like her tattoo. Wonder if that's real or is that one of those sleeves that you put on? I don't know. Because like it just stops right there, unless if like maybe it was purposely so like she could work and cover it up. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, look. Wait, is that him? Yeah, that's him. That's Travis. Dude, he looks just like his brother. Am I like, hold on. Wow, like they look a lot alike in that. Holy mackerel. Okay. Yes, I did get a haircut. Do you like it? My mom's been cutting my hair for years. Actually, and before that, I was cut when I lived in Colorado. I was cutting my own hair, so I haven't got like a real haircut. Well, this is a real haircut, but I haven't actually went into a place to get my haircut, dude. And probably like 20. No, like since like probably sometime before 2009. Probably like I don't know. Yeah, probably like 17 years or so. So in Colorado, I cut my own hair, and then since I've been home, my mom's been cutting it. Anyway, is it both him? You're saying this is him? No, because it says Thomas Decker pictured with wife. Jessica. Travis's wife, his name is Whitney. Anyway, is it? Well, why does it say Thomas Decker picture with wife? I don't. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying. Okay, sorry, Elsie. I was misunderstanding. They do. Are they twins? No, they would have said twins. Wow, like at least with this picture, they look like this. I would believe that was the same person. So Elsie, I get it. Like I would think if somebody told me that was the same person, I'd believe it. Anyway, so it says Travis Decker showed violent tendencies after his brother and father staged an intervention following Travis's apparent financial abandonment of his family. Thomas's wife, Jessica, posted this photo of her 3 children with Travis's daughters after the 3 girls' bodies were discovered on June 2nd. Aww. Okay, there's more. Hold on, there's more. Let's see. I honestly do not know, he said. We have been so disconnected for the last 3 years. I hope it's over soon. You know, there's a lot of people, not just within the family, but outside the family, that wants closure with this. Heartbroken Thomas describes how growing up together, being only 2.5 years apart, they were best friends. We did everything together. We hunted, fished, camped, and fought with each other. We were best friends as kids. The brother also pursued similar career paths, with Thomas joining the army at 18 years old and Travis following his footsteps. Wait. Okay. So Thomas was older, right? He was 2.5 years older. So Thomas joined when he was 18, and then Travis. Okay. At times we were stationed at opposite ends of the world, but we stayed in touch with phone calls and emails. We rarely saw each other because of our military careers. Thomas says how a little over 3 years ago, he found out he was being stationed at Joint Base Lewis McChord just outside Tacoma, Washington. A 3-hour drive from Wenatchee, Washington, where Travis lived with his wife, Whitney, and with their with their 3 daughters, Thomas made a call to his brother. Initially, Travis was excited about the news that they were going to be finally living in the same state after all these years. I was excited. I have young kids, and Travis had 3 young girls. I thought we all could reconnect with our wives and kids. Authorities released photos of Decker from before he went missing into the vast wilderness of Washington state, showed him with sunglasses that obscured his eyes, and tattoos all down his arm. So they posted this so you could see his tattoos, I'm sure. And then and this one. Travis Wright followed his brother's footsteps by joining the army after he turned 18. Thomas is 2.5 years older and said they were close when they were growing up. Look, Travis Wright, that's definitely not, this is Thomas. So who do they, oh, right here, that's Travis. Oh my God, when I first looked at that, I was thinking it was them looking for him. That's Travis. Because I was confused. I was like, why are they saying Travis Wright? They must be up here or something. But no, that's him. Huh. Wow. Actually, hold on one second. Give me 1 second. We already got that. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to save it. In case I need it for a thumbnail or something. I mean, you just never know. Or I like to collect pictures just so, of the cases that I'm following. Okay, so then after I moved out, I called Travis on the phone. He appeared distant and uninterested. I was taken back by his demeanor. Wow, wait, what? So Thomas was all excited. They were moving into the same state, only 3 hours away. And then he said, then when he moved there, he called Travis on the phone. He appeared distant and uninterested. I was taken back by his demeanor. Wow. That's crazy. Huh. Anyway, Thomas told Daily Mail that he and his brother grew apart while serving in different locations until he found out he'd be stationed in Washington, where Travis lived with his wife, Whitney, and 3 daughters. Anyway, okay. So months later, I found out that Travis and Whitney were getting a divorce. He was still living at the house, but every time I spoke with him, it's hard to explain, but you couldn't communicate with him. He listened, but wasn't listening. Then Thomas found out that Travis was starting to abandon his family. I told him, you can't leave your family like this. People get divorced all the time. If you're not happy in your marriage, that's okay. But your kids do not deserve this. Just because you're getting a divorce doesn't allow you to forego your parental obligations. Thomas said at one point, he and his father staged an intervention with Travis at his house. Whitney took the girls away for the afternoon, and Thomas and their father showed up at Travis's house. We were trying to help him. We had hoped to have a good conversation with him to ask him if he needed anything, any help, financial or otherwise. We are family. We want to help him and see what we could do to get him back on track. But things did not go well. He tried to resort to violence because we were not supposed to be there and we just showed up unannounced. Resort to violence? Wow. So we just showed up unannounced, said Thomas, who refused to elaborate further, but clarified there was no physical violence. So maybe did he throw something or something? I don't know. It says resort to violence, but no physical violence. A year later, when their mother died in 2023, Thomas reached out to check on his younger brother and asked him if he wanted any of her possessions. So Travis appeared distant and uninterested when his brother moved to Washington State some 3 years ago. So there's Travis. The home where Whitney and her 3 daughters lived. It's also where the intervention took place, which Thomas said escalated to the point where Travis tried to resort to violence because he and his father showed up unannounced. There's his ex-wife. Whitney gave no indication that she thought she and her 3 daughters were at risk of being harmed. Otherwise, Thomas said he would have intervened. Again, whatever I said fell on deaf ears. By this time, he and Whitney were divorced, and he wasn't paying child support nor fulfilling his parental obligations. But Thomas said he had to eventually cut off Travis, adding that he was spreading lies about me and I just no longer wanted to deal with it. I've worked hard for what I've accomplished and did not want his lies to ruin my career or anything else. So I told myself I would not communicate with him anymore. And to cut him off was tough. We grew up together. He is my baby brother. We did a lot of things together, and I thought we were going to be a big, happy family, take our kids on trips, be uncles and dads. It's tough now knowing that will never be the case. Thomas last saw Whitney and the three girls about 1 week before they were murdered. We were being transferred again, and we were going to be driving near where they lived, so we spent a night in Wenatchee. We got a hotel and Whit and the girls came swimming. And we had a little pizza party. We laughed and played and just caught up on conversation, normal family stuff. Whitney told my wife that she still wanted Travis to find help, but she never mentioned that she was concerned about her and her daughter's safety around Travis. Travis was still attending the girls' sporting events, but he still was not financially providing for his girls. Thomas said nothing was out of the ordinary with Whitney, adding that if he knew of any potential danger, we would have acted upon it. We did not get any vibe Whitney had any concern of potential violence. New doorbell footage emerges of father wanted for murder, which we already watched this. This was right before. It's just real quick. Man, I hope this, you know what? Why do I have this? Not chance it for, it's just the music they played. That's his brother. Thomas and Jessica last saw Whitney and the three girls about 1 week before they were murdered. Yeah, she's got that on again. So obviously she just had it done probably for work. So she could still like wear a sleeve like up to here. I'm guessing. They believe they're closing in on him. Whitney told Thomas that Travis had been going to a therapist and trying to get help. Once he started doing better, she told Thomas he stopped going. See, one of those things. Oh, it helped me. I got to stop going. But the trick is no, you have to continue and get to a point, depending on the situation, where maybe you can stop going. But most likely, somebody like him, he might have to continue at least going. Maybe not as much, but at least not just giving it up altogether, you know. Thomas said he can't speak on whether or not his brother had PTSD, saying, I don't know. I mean, everybody gets affected from different things differently. There are people in the military that can see the worst things and they're fine. And there's people that go to the office every day and they are out. Thomas said at the time they were originally speaking, they had plans to hang out. Travis was out of the military by this time. Then all of a sudden he changed. I don't know what changed or why. It is something I have been trying to figure out these past 3 years. Travis was an infantryman in the U.S. Army from March 2013 to July 2021. Wow, so he was in there for 8 years and deployed to Afghanistan for 4 months in 2014. And said Army spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Ruth Castro. He was training in navigation and survival and other skills, authorities say. He once spent more than 2 months living in the backwoods off grid. The guy on the wanted poster for murdering my 3 nieces is not the brother I know, said Thomas. I can't even comprehend what is going on. I am in complete shock that he would do something like this. He loves his daughters. At least I thought he did. And Whitney is devastated beyond belief. This says SWAT team from Snohomish County Sheriff's Special Operations Unit looking for Travis Thomas told the Daily Mail he's unsure if his brother will surrender when confronted by law enforcement. Thomas said that part of him, if given the chance to talk to his brother, wants to ask Travis why. Why did you do this? But he does not think Travis would be honest, asking, can you trust somebody that did something like this to give you an honest answer? Thomas said he is cooperating with law enforcement, speaking to them just days before his interview with the Daily Mail. They wanted to know anything I knew about Travis, other phone numbers, email addresses, likes or dislikes, what was he like, habits, etc. They wanted to get an idea of who he is. A GoFundMe page set up to help the girl's mother raised more than 1.2 million by Wednesday afternoon. Holy moly. As for Thomas, he just wants to put all this to rest. I hope this is over soon so we can start the healing process and get some semblance of closure. Wow, that was a good article though. Interesting. Okay, so let me do the rest of my screenshots. I don't have too many more screenshots. And then I'll put the link out, and then while I'm waiting, if people want to join, I'll play a couple of videos that I had, and then see if there's anything new too. All right, hold on though. I have a couple other posts. What's this one? This says father wanted for murder. Okay, I want to see if there's anything even new. So it's the Rock Island campground. Police said the visitation was a part of a court-approved parenting plan, but he violated it, raising immediate concern. He was believed to be living out of a white 2017 GMC Sierra. Okay, this has all the same stuff. He's 5. Okay, this is interesting. Like, this is good to know. He's 5 feet 8 inches tall, 190 pounds, with black hair and a ponytail and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a light colored shirt and dark shorts. Authorities say he's homeless and may be staying in his truck, motels, or local campgrounds. Well, now we know he's not in his truck. So this was the time, obviously, they hadn't found his truck yet. Officials warn he may be dangerous and is a military veteran with extensive training. If you see him, call 911. Okay. I think I go over some of this might be not allowed to have overnight visits, been experiencing mental health issues. According to court documents, flock cameras and other resources helped authorities to narrow the search down to the area of a Rock Island campground where they found Decker's truck and 2 bloody handprints. The bodies of the girls were found about 75 to 100 yards away down in an embankment. So we know all that. Hold on. They continue to block off the area and public access Tuesday. And now it's Thursday. Okay. Washington. It has been reported that their wrists were zip tied, appear to have been. Okay, we already know that. Asphyxiation. Report mentions plastic bags were tossed throughout the area. It's important to note the sources mention plastic bags, not garbage bags. Okay. Law enforcement searching. Okay, a lot of this is just repetitive. Sorry, I just want to make sure there's nothing that I missed. But like I said, they found his vehicle. He didn't take it. Here's some more pictures of him that we already saw. Let's see what this says. Fallen photos are what triple murder suspect Travis Decker could look like when clean shaven. But they believe that he has long hair, or it's believed. Wenatchee police say it's believed that Travis has long hair, ponytail, facial hair as seen in the other photos. However, it doesn't mean it's not possible that he could change his appearance. Decker is still at large and wanted for kidnapping of his 3 young daughters and kidnapping and murder. Look at his tattoos, guys. You never know. I mean, he could end up going anywhere. I mean, I think they have him surrounded, but I mean, you just never know. Yeah, 32-year-old. Let's see if there's anything new in this real quick. Okay, that looks like all repetitive stuff. It was Friday. Oh, that was the thing that, so Washington State Patrol was contacted on Friday, the day they went missing, to request an Amber Alert. However, it did not meet the required criteria. On Saturday, police detectives recontacted WSP with additional information, and an endangered missing person alert was issued. I think it took them, 3 days to do the Amber Alert, which that's like, people are talking about that. Did they screw up? Or, would it made a difference? You know what I'm saying? Were they already gone by then? What could it have made a difference? Okay. Oh, so he on his Facebook account, I just screenshot some of the parts where he responded on it. But hold on, it's going backwards. Hold on. Let me go in the order that they go, because that's bringing it up. Oh, give me 1 second. So it was this was the post right here, May 16th. So this was a couple weeks before the murder, right? Because it was May 30th that he took the kids. All right, let me take another sip of this. Hold on. Okay. So he posted this on Facebook. Okay, and then this Karen Anderson, so this would have been before the murder, right? This would have been a couple weeks before he picked up the kids. She writes, "What is that?" And then he responds. So this is all after the murder. But the Karen, it's somebody he probably knows. She's like, "What is that?" Because he kind of talks to her a little bit. He responds, "It's a deer skull with some spine." And then people responding, after, how it is. Oh, like talking about like you're sick, just people responding about that. But that was a week ago. But like I said, the ones that I'm going to read are from 3 weeks ago. It was before the murder. Okay. And then she says, "Okay, the head looks huge for a deer." And then I don't know why she does this response. Like I said, it's 3 weeks ago. So it was before it all happened. He says, "Right on, haha, for a whitetail, yes, it's a mule deer." And then he says, "Here's a few in a field we came across the same afternoon as pictured above." As the picture above. And then he says here, oh yeah, we came across, so that was May 18th. He shows this. And then is that all? Hold on. That might be all that he responded to. And then hold on, just a couple more. What is this? This is from June 6th. Somebody says, "I have dug a little on Army veteran Travis Decker, who's accused of killing his 3 daughters at the campground in Washington and is currently on the run. However, I suspect that he may have taken his own life rather than actively evading authorities." But I think he's trying. I mean, I'm thinking that I don't think he is. I think he's trying to survive. He might die trying. Anyway, while this case was garnered significant attention due to its tragic nature, I believe it's essential to address a harsh reality within the veteran community. We lose 22 veterans a day to unaliving. We have an unaddressed mental health crisis. From my understanding and in the agreement with his ex-wife's attorney, the system failed Travis as a veteran. When he first divorced, his ex-wife reported that he had a stable housing and that the relationship was amicable. With no signs of violence. However, he later became homeless, fell into a deep depression, and his behavior significantly changed. She noted that he appeared very solemn on the day he picked up their daughters. The ex-wife's attorney stated the courts didn't fail these girls. It wasn't the judge. It wasn't Whitney. It was our system. Remember, this is just somebody posting. This isn't my words. This is firearms trainer Marine. I don't know, somebody posting on Facebook. Where are we at? Wait, she said the courts, this is her opinion. She said, or no, she's saying the ex-wife's attorney stated the courts didn't fail the girls. It wasn't the judge. And it wasn't Whitney, it was our system. If somebody had provided Travis with the help he needed, those girls would be alive. So I guess the attorney said that. She's quoting the attorney. She's quoting Whitney's, his ex-wife's attorney. Travis struggled with mental health issues and experienced instability in his life, which affected the court-mandated restrictions on his overnight visitation and travel with the children. Despite these challenges, he loved his daughters and maintained regular communication with Whitney, not just as co-parents, but as friends. His ex-wife reported that he began to spiral in 2023, suffering from deep sleep disturbances and extreme emotional distress. He ultimately chose to end his marriage, believing that it was unfair for her to endure his struggles. I don't know if that's true, if he's the one that wanted to end it or she or whatever. In 2024, Whitney petitioned the courts to modify their visitation agreement, successfully securing 3 8-hour visitations for Travis, during which he was not allowed to take the children out of the area. This arrangement seemed to be working well. The mother's attorney remarked, "Something's broke in this man. When that man picked up those girls, his babies, he did not have a plan to kill them. There's nothing to indicate that he did." So supposedly that's what the mother's attorney said. Whitney emphasized that Travis had never been violent toward her or their daughters, and described him as an inactive and sorry, I read that wrong. Described him as an active and engaged father who consistently attended his children's needs. This situation is truly tragic and in many ways avoidable outcome. I'm curious to learn more about any interactions Travis had with the VA hospital and the resources that may have been available to him. I'm not justifying what he did, but I'm highlighting a huge problem. It's not a fictitious problem. I know some people love a good rage story, but this ain't it. It's tragic. And then somebody else posted on June 7th, update. According to new court filings in the week leading up to this tragedy, Travis tried to get back with the mother of the girl's ex-wife, or his ex-wife. So they're saying according to the new court filings, he tried to get back with her. He even told his daughters, Evelyn, Olivia, and Peyton Decker, he'd be moving back in, but the mom, Whitney Decker, said, no, that's not happening. His boss also called and reported to Whitney that he was very concerned Travis was on the brink of something bad happening. Travis had been having daily phone calls with a pastor for months, which he abruptly quit a few weeks ago. Oh my God, my nose is itching. They would talk for hours and hours, and suddenly not a word from Travis. Travis had also reached out to the VA, who didn't help him. Why? We also know Travis was considering rehoming his dog, his best friend. During this time, he also attempted to reconcile with his father and brother, which that's not what his brother said, but unless if he tried and just couldn't find him, his brother did not say that. And the news wants to say there were no red flags. Please find this man. There's a chance he's on his way to Canada based on his search history. 11 miles from campsite is a 170-mile long trail that leads directly to Canada. Okay. So then I think that's about, oh no, yeah. Okay, so then the pictures I already shared. And then what's this one? Nate Eaton from East Idaho News. This was from 12 minutes ago. So if I got this today, I guess it was from today, because I think I'm the one that, I don't know. I don't remember if I got this from a group of somebody else screenshotting it, and therefore I don't know when they screenshot or if I did. I can't remember. But anyway, let's see. Law enforcement has tracked someone they believe to be Travis, the man accused of brutally killing his 3 young daughters. The man was spotted in Blewett Pass area of Washington Tuesday evening, according to Chelan County Sheriff's Office. The office received a tip of a hiker. Okay, this is the same stuff. Okay. All right. So that's the screenshots. Now, I do have one video that here, let's play this.
Now on Cairo 7 News at 5, breaking news, 24 hours and still no answers from police.
Hold on, I'm going to skip to, because they go over, like about right here.
And to a search for 3 sisters from Wenatchee, 9-year-old Peyton Decker, 8-year-old Evelyn Decker, and 5-year-old Olivia Decker have been found dead. The girls were last seen alive on Friday after their father picked them up for a planned visitation.
And now there is an urgent manhunt to find him. 32-year-old Travis Decker is wanted for his daughter's kidnapping and murders. Now, State Patrol says he may be armed and dangerous. The girls' bodies were found near his empty truck about 40 miles away from Wenatchee by Rock Island Campground that's west of Leavenworth.
Our team is bringing you live coverage on this rapidly developing investigation from State Patrol headquarters in Olympia to the crime scene near Leavenworth.
First, Cairo 7 anchor Gary Horker is fronting our coverage live from Wenatchee, digging through just released charging documents. And Gary, the details here are disturbing.
Monique and Elle, they don't get more heartbreaking than this. These 3 innocent lives taken so tragically, and now we know how. Those documents say the girls died of asphyxiation. They also say the way they found them was the FBI and all these law enforcement agencies, including Homeland Security, pinged their father's cell phone around the area and the campsite where the night before he disappeared with them. Take a look at the girls at the center of this case. That's Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker. 3 innocent little girls. They were last seen Friday when they were supposed to be on a scheduled visit with their dad, Travis. Here's a look at his photo. According to custodial documents, Travis Decker and the girl's mom had been separated now for several years, but his court-ordered custody plan changed once he became homeless. Worth noting here, Decker refused to sign the plan, which stated he needed to get both mental help and anger management help as well, which his ex-wife said in court documents never really happened. Cairo 7's Jason Sloss has been digging through all of these heartbreaking documents. Jason, this is a heartbreaking end to the search, and you just talked to the mom yesterday exclusively.
Yes, and the mom was optimistic that this would have a much different ending. Just horrific deaths for these 3 little girls during what was supposed to be a relatively quick visit with their father. Now, the girls were found about 45 minutes down this road near a campground, and now an all-out search for their father. A heartbreaking end to the search for 3 little girls, 9-year-old Peyton, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 5-year-old Olivia Decker, found dead near the Rock Island Campground near Leavenworth. Now a manhunt for the sisters' father, 32-year-old Travis Decker. Friday evening, Decker went to his ex-wife's home in Wenatchee to pick up the girls for a planned 3-hour parental visit, but they never returned. Wenatchee police issued an endangered missing person alert. Decker is homeless, and for 3 days, authorities searched campgrounds and motels while on the lookout for Decker's white GMC truck. Just before 4 Monday afternoon, a Chelan County Sheriff's deputy spotted the father's unoccupied truck near a campground off Icicle Road. The bodies of the 3 girls were then found nearby down an embankment, but no sign of Decker. According to Chelan County court documents, the likely cause of the girls' deaths was asphyxiation.
I don't know, I have a little girl myself, so that's, it's shocking.
Visitors hoping to hike a nearby trail were turned away at a roadblock as a large-scale search is carried out.
I'm sorry for the family and for the mother. That's devastating. I absolutely cannot imagine.
Now, if anyone sees Decker, they are urged not to make contact, but call 911 right away. We were expecting a news conference today with the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. That did not happen. There is a GoFundMe account set up in the girls' names. We'll have more about that on our website. Live in Leavenworth, Jason Sloss, Cairo 7 News.
Incredibly difficult information to even process and report. Thank you, Jason. Since we learned the sisters have died, we have been asking very tough questions, specifically to the Washington State Patrol, because in this state, the federal government gives the overall criteria for an Amber Alert, but only the State Patrol can actually issue an Amber Alert itself. So everybody passing by here with heavy hearts is wondering and second guessing the State Patrol. A natural question: why was the State Patrol not issuing an Amber Alert? Cairo 7's Deborah Horn is live for us in Olympia. Deborah, WSP said there wasn't enough evidence that the sisters were in any kind of imminent danger, and they need to be in imminent danger for an Amber Alert to be issued.
Absolutely, Gary. That is one of the criteria set out for an Amber Alert. But as you say, now those sisters are dead. And so we came here to Olympia to ask whether anyone at WSP believes they made a mistake. Any second guessing? Any rethinking?
as a father and a grandfather, when your heart is so broken by someone lost, there's always going to be questions. What could we have done? What should we have done?
Those are just some of the questions the Washington State Patrol is facing after the worst news possible about the 3 missing sisters, that all 3 are dead. Their troubled father still missing. This after WSP issued a missing and endangered persons alert, but not the more urgent Amber Alert. Should the criteria be changed, be broadened?
That's a question for the Department of Justice and a national discussion, because this is used across the country.
According to WSP guidelines set out in 2019, an Amber Alert is issued if several criteria are met as set by the federal government: that the missing person is a child, that the child is believed to be in danger of imminent death or serious bodily injury, that there is an adequate description of that missing child, and that law enforcement is investigating. WSP's Chris Loftus says there was no evidence Travis Decker was a threat to his children.
If we were to issue an Amber Alert every time someone with custodial privilege is late getting that child back, we'd have Amber Alerts just about every day. Was it the system that harmed these?
Yes, was it the system that failed?
Was it the system or was it the murderer? I would say it was the murderer.
Now, after Chris Loftus said that the Fed set the criteria, we checked. And according to the DOJ, the criteria are recommendations. But those recommendations are not forced on individual states. Loftus also says that the mother gave no indication that she believed her ex-husband would harm their children. But of course, we have recent court documents, but even some that go back 3 years show that she had some concerns. We're working to bring you that part of this story tonight at 6. For now, reporting live in Olympia, Deborah Horn, Cairo 7 News.
Deborah, you and I have been reporting for a long time, and we know tragedies like this one times 3 are what get people to second-guess policies and sometimes change them. Thank you for your coverage there. Again, it's been almost 24 hours since the girls' bodies were found not far away from where I am right now, and we have been pushing the State Patrol for answers. Debbie Horn has been asking them sharp questions, and they're still telling us the policy dictated what they did. So the Wenatchee School District also said it's providing counseling in support for the students. Jason mentioned it earlier, but here's the GoFundMe in support of the girl's mother, and this is going to raise money, we understand, for 3 funerals. It has raised more, I'm just getting this now, $190,000 at this point. A lot of generous, heartbroken people. Again, you can find that link on our website, Cairo7.com. We're going to be live at a vigil not far from where I am for all 3 girls at 6 p.m. There are a lot of people with heartbroken hearts here. They want to go anywhere that they can join hands, maybe light a candle and say a prayer. That's going to be at Wenatchee's Memorial Park, just within eyeshot of where I am. We're going to cover that live for you, but for now we're going to send it back to you live from Wenatchee in the studio.
And in situations like this, that community support is it's unparalleled.
It's the only thing that'll get them through.
Gary, thank you.
Now, we did some digging. We found out a large number of child kidnapping cases are committed by family members.
So according to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, around 200,000 of the 260,000 children abducted each year are taken by a parent or other family member. In 2023, 59% of all Amber Alerts that were issued were for family abduction cases.
Now, we have been covering this story from the start. You can find everything leading up to these tragic developments on Cairo7.com. We'll have a
Yeah, okay, hold on a second. I'm on Facebook, but here's a couple interesting things here. Let's watch this video. Now that video, I don't know what it says because I didn't get to hear it, but let's see. Let's see what this says. It's from June 8th.
Development overnight in the search for the Washington father accused of killing his 3 young girls. Now his ex-wife is speaking out. Here's ABC's Johnny Fernandez.
Overnight, investigators tracking new leads in the search for the father accused of murdering his 3 young daughters near a Washington state campground. Authorities now say Travis Decker, known to have wilderness survivor skills, may be traveling along the Pacific Crest Trail. One area now closed to visitors as police urge residents to keep their doors and windows locked. Decker's daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, just 9, 8, and 5 years old, were supposed to return home last week from a court-approved visit with their father. But on Monday, their bodies were found in a wooded area in Leavenworth. Police say it appears they were suffocated.
Travis was never violent with the girls. He had
Well, this is
some mental health
devastating.
issues.
Decker's ex-wife, through her attorney, now speaking out, saying Decker struggled with PTSD after serving in Afghanistan and had reached out to the VA for help.
She feels like the system really let Travis down. She still to this day has a lot of love and empathy for Travis and who he is in his core, because he was a very loving man, but something broke, and whatever monster came out of him, it's something that he was trained to do in the military, and our government really should provide those resources.
That's
Decker's
horrible, Eric.
ex-wife is
That's
also
interesting.
pushing for changes to the Amber Alert system. Police say that this case did not meet the criteria because there was no evidence of an abduction.
And then I wanted to this one right here. Look, now this is from June 10th. It says, I mean, I don't. Okay, so you have this picture, and then it says right here. I mean, I don't know. This is from Daily Mail. Doesn't make sense because I mean, okay, so a couple days ago, which we know they didn't find him, but it says it's supposed to be Whitney's neighbor. It says, "Me too. How and where do they find the kids?" And they said they found them yesterday all the way down Icicle. Oh, never mind. I thought I read that real quick. I thought they were saying they found him. Sorry, I apologize. So maybe this is. It says, "So sorry, Whitney. You are a wonderful mother." And she says, "Oh, she loved it." So supposedly that's Whitney and her neighbor talking. Huh. Interesting. Wait, me too. Where did they find the kids? They found them yesterday all the way down Icicle. Huh. All right. And then there's that Rock Island campground, the campground that they were found at. I don't know who's this. Is this his dad, maybe? Maybe this is Travis's dad. Let's see. Everyone is pointing fingers at the dad. How does anyone know what really happened? I don't know. Let me see. Why did they betray her? Here's Rock Island, and here is Travis Decker did not return his daughter's home. It's where he should have been, and this is where he took the girls and where they were found. Man. Chris Watts vibes. Yes, that's what I was saying. That's how I feel like the same way. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, this gives me Chris Watts vibes. Crazy. All right, so that's back to let me see. That's gonna be heartbreaking video she made of Father's Day. I probably won't be able to play the music though. Mama 3 allegedly killed by dad shares heartbreaking video she made for Father's Day. So she made it for this weekend. Wow. Says a video exclusively shared with people on June 6th shows a slideshow of photos of Travis Decker, Whitney Decker, and their 3 daughters. Per police, Travis is suspected. Okay, yeah, we know. Before the tragic news surfaced that the 3 girls were found dead and their father was suspected of killing them, their mother posted an online video tribute to her now missing ex-husband, who claims was a good parent despite his mental health struggles, according to her attorney. The 20-second video shared exclusively with people through Whitney Decker's attorney, Ariana Kozar. Yeah, remember we watched that video where she talked. I played it a little while ago, and also I replayed parts of it just a minute ago, but with her attorney talking, and then she shares a couple photos of them and says that it was a video she made, but it goes on. It's the song is that happy song, right? So I'll have to play it without it if she has the whole slideshow. Okay, so the video is filled of a slideshow. Okay, yeah, Pharrell Williams, happy. Okay. Hold on, let me do this before because I have to mute it. Sometimes I can't. Oh, there we go. Let me wait till the ad is done. We'll see the pictures of them. 1 second. 18-second ad. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. You guys, I have the link. I have a pinned message if anybody wants to join. You don't have to show your face. You could just do audio. It'll give you the option of like either sharing your video or your camera or your mic. It's up to you. You don't have to share your video. You could just do audio if you want, or you could share your video. But okay, so here is the picture. Here's the video that she made for Father's Day of the girls and him. Wow, look how young he was there. Wow, that's quick. That's too quick. Hold on a second. We're going to have to slow it down. Why is that so quick? Can't even see any of the freaking, I can't even see any. I feel like, oh, and then that. Gosh darn it. I knew that was going to happen, where it was going to end up being something else. I hate that crap. It's going to be a different video now. Watch. Let's see. I'm going to have to go back through it. And I'm going to have to, can you do slow motion first? Let me see if I could do slow motion. Nope. Stupid. What I'll have to do is just like pause it because I want to see some of those pictures. Okay. So what I could do is go back to it like that and then go find it. All right, where'd it go? Wait. Oh, here it is. Okay. It's probably going to do the ad. Oh, shoot. Okay. So we're going to do this and then I'll just have to pause it because I want to see some of them. Oh, cool. Don't dox me. Thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And if anybody, like I said, if anybody wants to join, come on up. But you just have to show me your face backstage for a second. Because you do have people that do, what do they call them now? Flash or something where they even could pretend to have somebody else's profile. And they used to always do Amanda. Amanda, are you listening? Amanda, actually, she's a mod of mine. There was one period where they're always pretending to be her. And so you think you're going to have Amanda up and you're like, oh, Amanda. And they take her profile picture and you add her and then they flash you or do something inappropriate. So therefore you have to take your live down. Okay. So I'm going to try to pause it on each one and see. Okay. Oh, the poor babies. He was a nice looking guy when he was younger. I think, but I mean, it don't mean anything. Looks don't mean anything. But supposedly he was a good dad too, though. So it's just crazy. Definitely Chris Watts vibes. Slow. Hey, where have you been? How are you? Oh, that's him and his wife. That elephant. Probably right out of the country somewhere. Oh shoot, I wanted to see that one here. Oh, I didn't know he had a tattoo. What does that say right there? I don't know. That looks like MASH, but wonder up there. I don't know. Huh. And then that's very recognizable around his arm, you guys. So if he's wearing short sleeve, you would see this. So keep an eye out. If anybody's like in Washington or anywhere for that matter. They have like a pool at their, oh, this is probably some resort or something. It does look like, I mean, I know pictures can be deceiving, but it does look like he's a engaged, parent at the time. Like I said, I mean, something changed in him, or that was him the whole time, but he was pretending. But I think it's most likely something just changed in him and just like, who freaking knows? Like I said, chances are we are. Hey, oh, thanks, Jonathan. Dude, like he does look so different in different pictures. Like he looks, I feel like he looks, I mean, obviously it's him, but like he looks like almost like a different guy in this picture. His face, something about him. Oh, wait, I want to see that. I mean, he does. He looks like genuinely like happy hanging out with his kids, like he loves his kids. Like I said, it might not mean anything, or maybe at one time he was. Maybe this was at one point he was genuinely like loved his kids and stuff, and then something just went off in his brain or something. Because like it doesn't look like fake. It almost looks like it's sincerely like happiness with his kids. It could be fake, like I said, but it just, I don't know why it kind of looks real. What do you guys think? And if anybody wants to come up and share it, with me and tell me up here what you think. But that's what makes like these cases like more, I don't want to use the word interesting, but kind of like, because it makes you like want to try to freaking understand it, because it makes less sense. So it's like, what are we missing here? And like with the Chris Watts, a big thing is like people were like, man, am I like with somebody that could potentially do that, and am I being fooled? Is this you know what I'm saying? It makes people think like, whoa, I better pay attention, because like, what if that could be my life? It's just crazy. Yeah. Yeah, email me. I could give you information. You want to email me, zavgirl@protonmail.com? Email me. Okay, so hold on a second. Check that out. Oh, wait, I want to see. Sorry, I like to see all the pictures. He looks really young there. Look at the girl. Oh, it looks like the kids really love their dad. Like Whitney said, he must have been a pretty good parent and a pretty good human to his wife, because the fact that even after this, she's not saying bad things about him. You know what I'm saying? Even after knowing he killed her daughters, she's still saying like the system failed him. So she obviously has a lot of respect for him, and I feel like must like sincerely think that he really was a good person, and something snapped and he really needed help. You know what I'm saying? For her, even after this, to say that, I feel like, no, I know, Susan. It's, but see with Chad, Harley, I don't think necessarily he was a good parent. Like I heard from, I mean, I guess we only hear little bits and pieces and stuff, but it sounds like he was abusive and he was just kind of weird and just like, it doesn't sound like he was a very loving parent anyway, all around with Chad. But mm, hmm, wow. Like what happened? Was there drugs? I mean, I know there's not an excuse. It's not an excuse, but it's understanding, trying to understand all the pieces and what could have, why did this happen? It's like, is there any, I wonder if they're going to come across, is there any drug addiction, abuse type things? We know he was homeless. Did he have PTSD? Did he experience a lot and it's not an excuse. I wish I could just say something and you guys understand, like, I'm not giving an excuse. I'm just, this stuff is important to understand why people do things. Everybody's different. So like somebody can say, well, I was in the military and I experienced this. I didn't kill anybody. Yeah, but everybody's unique. So some people could handle certain things. Some people can't handle certain things. Some people have an effect because their biology and their upbringing and all what makes them them. When they see something and go through something, something clicks in their brain differently than somebody else. So, you know what I'm saying? So you can't, like, yeah, if he experienced something that he saw, of course, it could be a part of what ultimately made him do what he did. But it's not an excuse. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But I know I'm gonna have people saying that. I don't really know ever how to word it because I hate when I get that where it's like, oh, it's no excuse. I did it, because that's not. So just everything is important. Drug abuse, upbringing, any trauma he experienced, any mental health stuff that's going on. If he has something biologically, like a chemical imbalance, like all of that put together. And yeah, maybe some people could have all that the same way and they didn't kill anybody, but they're also not that person. They have different DNA. They have a different life experiences, different coping mechanisms, different tools, different IQs, different experiences in life. You know what I'm saying? It all comes into play. Every little bit. So yeah, definitely. If he experienced anything in our military, it's definitely important to know. I like that shirt though. Like, he has like a really genuine smile. When he smiles, it looks like really sincere, you know? It's not like in the way he looks at his kids. So I bet you he was at one point a really loving dad. Maybe some snap. Maybe he does have some PTSD and then some snapped in his brain. Took him down the spiral. Maybe even the divorce had something to do with it. You know, everything plays a part. I think he was homeless. It looks like he was losing his teeth. Anyway, so that was the pictures. Oh wait, there's that. Actually, let me read some of this. I just like skimmed it, and there's actually some new stuff that I hadn't read yet. So she posted the tribute. She claims that Travis was a good parent despite his mental health struggles, according to her attorney. The 20-second video shared exclusively with people, blah, blah. Okay, so we watched that. The video is filled with a slideshow with the song Happy. It's unclear when exactly the video, which has a TikTok logo, was posted online since Whitney's account is now private. Shoot, I wrote that down because I was going to go check out her account, but never mind. Travis is suspected of killing the girls who were found dead on June 2nd near the Rock Island campground in Chelan County, Washington, where his pickup truck was also recovered. The sisters were reported missing on May 30th after they had not returned in the time frame. Okay. Travis was a present and active father up until the end, still attending the girls' soccer games, dance, and theater productions. Cozart said in an emailed statement to People on June 6th, although Travis was struggling with his own mental health, he was a good co-parent, always communicating frequently with Whitney up until Friday evening when the girls went missing. According to Cozart, Decker and Whitney were married for a little over 7 years, and his mental health struggles, including his feelings of isolation, paranoia, and borderline personality disorder, led to the crumbling of their marriage in 2022. The attorney notes that Travis, who is an Army veteran, was seeking mental health care but was unable to obtain it. That's sad. Whitney later sought limitations to his parenting time, as explained in September 2024. The parenting plan filed in Chelan County. She claimed in a separate filing, also viewed by People, that Decker had neglected his parental duties towards a child, and has a long-term emotional or physical problem that gets in the way of his ability to parent. Wait, it says Decker had neglected his parental duties towards a child. It has a long-term emotional, physical problem that gets in the way of his ability to parent. He'd been granted visitation to visit his daughters for 3 hours on Fridays and 8 hours every other weekend. That's what, remember I was saying that 3-hour thing. I remember hearing that that Friday was 3 hours. And 8 hours every other weekend, as long as he stayed in Wenatchee Valley per the parenting plan filing. He was not granted overnight visits. The schedule was only temporary due to the court process, Cozart said. In the filing, Whitney also asked that Decker be evaluated for anger management, domestic violence, and have a full psychiatric evaluation by a licensed psychiatrist to include any potential diagnosis. The filing stated that if Decker didn't follow through with these things, the mother will have the choice to further limit visitation. One, to keep up with the Cozart tells People that Travis was not a violent man with Whitney or the girls ever. So I don't know where Stephanie Harlow and him heard that. Oh, it was the neighbor, but I don't know. Like, I don't think the neighbor said they saw him hit her, but they saw her injured or something, right? I forget something. I got to go back and watch that part. If anybody watched it, what was it again? I feel like she had a, why am I remembering something about like her arm in a sling, or she was injured or something? And I don't know why they assumed it was him. I really got to find that part in the video. Maybe I could find it real quick and then play it for you guys. But she's saying ever, so maybe, maybe that was just assumption that they were wrong. The manhunt remains ongoing for Travis, who's currently wanted for 3 counts of first-degree murder. Okay. It says the Chelan Sheriff's Office says he's well-versed in wilderness survival and capable of spending days or even weeks in the wilderness on his own and with very little equipment. Authorities are asking anyone who has seen Travis to call 911. I am doing a goal, guys. So once I meet this goal, that'll be the second giveaway. So help me meet the goal, guys. We got, I think we need 7 or 8 more. Jonathan, you'll be entered twice because as many times as you do it, you'll get entered. But like I said, this one, since this wasn't done on the Wade one, this I'll just do whenever we meet this goal. I'll do it whenever, any live. But that one that's already due, like I said, the next Wade one, which I'll probably do a Wade one this week to continue doing the kiosk messages. So I'll do it. I'll do the whatchamacallit, the giveaway drawing then. And I think it was AGM wanted to do the no. What did she want to do? Oh, pick a card one for the random name picker. So I'm gonna do pick a card. But come on, we need 8 more to do this goal. And then, like I said, this goal is on its second round. So anybody that did the last live that contributed, you'll be entered into this one too. Let me see what round we're on. Or let me see, because I can't remember if that $5 one counts or not. No, 1. Wait a minute. Jonathan, I bet you did that after I started the goal. Well, if we get 9, I'll call it that we made the goal, because technically I think he just did it right before I did the goal. So that should count. Anyway, all right. So interesting. Let's see if there's anything else in the Facebook groups though. You guys want me to find that part in that video? Hold on, let me find it. Where it talks about, I think it's the neighbor talking about it. I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me go to my history. I'll try to find it. It was True Crime Recap, I think it's called, right? Let's see. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where are you at? Um, oh, I might have, hold on, I wanna see what other emails that I have that I wanted to, any other, videos too that I could play. But hold on. Huh, must have passed it up. Oh, Crime Weekly, that's what it's called, Crime Weekly, okay. So, let's find it, guys. So, I'm going to move this over here. And shoot. And I will play that Crime Weekly. I'll kind of skip forward because I'm not going to play the whole thing. I just want to really focus on that part where they talk about the abuse because I can't remember. Okay.
Everyone's been DMing us about
with the girls. So he would have a weekend visitation with the girls where he would pick them up on
thoughts.
Well, I just posted a video to date, a few details of the case. The Evelyn Decker Elementary School.
I'm gonna skip a little bit.
So
Sorry.
what seems to have happened here? He actually had an apartment after the divorce, or as the divorce was going through, and then he was homeless for a little bit after this apartment, and he ended up living at the Armory because he was part of the National Guard. And his wife Whitney at that time brought the case back to family court and said, "Hey, I want this parenting plan modified because my husband or my ex-husband does not have a place to live, and I don't feel comfortable with my 3 little girls staying at the Armory where there's, military men, transients, people who just kind of stay there temporarily. They're surrounded by strange men. I don't feel safe." Additionally, there were claims of neglect where Whitney said that her little girls would call her or FaceTime her and they were crying because their father was nowhere to be found, and they were playing with some workout equipment, and one of the little girls was injured and hurt. And she said just in general, the 3 girls were showing emotional disruption.
See, where does anybody know where she's getting this information? Because everything I've read, it hasn't said that. So I wish I knew where she was getting this so I could look at it. Because I don't know. I haven't found anything that says anything like that. Does anybody know? Oh, hey, Delana, how are you?
Whenever they would talk to their father on the phone or come back from visits with him and be, very emotionally unregulated, which wasn't like them. So the judge did go ahead and modify the parenting plan, basically saying that Travis could continue to see his children, but no more overnights until he had a stable place to live. But there were also issues with Travis's mental state because he had served during Afghanistan. When he joined the Army, he went to Afghanistan for a little while. He saw active duty. He came back with CPTSD. He was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder right around the time the marriage was ending. And although Whitney continued telling the court and even law enforcement when the girls went missing that there had been no issues of domestic violence or abuse during their marriage, she did also tell a neighbor that there were issues with domestic abuse and that Travis had beat her. And this neighbor saw Travis with a bruised face one time and Whitney with a broken arm that she was wearing in a sling. So it is possible that there was domestic.
Wait, Travis with the bruised face? So I'm sorry. I didn't remember. She said that she supposedly told the neighbor. Where can we find this information? Because I really want to know if that's legit. Because why is she staying firm that there was no physical? Like, you would think she would tell the law enforcement because this is their kids' lives. You know what I'm saying? Don't take what I'm saying the wrong way. I'm just trying to figure this out here. But at that point, they were trying to figure out if the kids were in danger. You think she would have said if that was true. So that's why I really need to see where this came from, because she was pretty persistent. No domestic violence, no physical abuse, no violence, right? And then even through her lawyer saying, oh, he was a good dad, he was loving, he wasn't violent. I am so confused. I wish, does she have any sources where she's getting this? Huh. And there were credible creators too. So I would just really want to see where this is coming from. Huh.
Abuse, and I talked about this in my video. I think that there probably was, but Whitney most likely never thought that it would translate to their children. And she didn't want to say something in the court system that would prevent Travis from being able to continue seeing his children. And I think she worried that if she talked about incidences of domestic violence, that might complicate things.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
As it should.
Right. But I really genuinely think that if there was, because this neighbor has no reason to lie, it seems that he and Whitney were pretty close, that she was texting him when her daughters went missing. This neighbor knew the girls. He knew Whitney. He knew Travis. He commented on how Travis's mental state and even physical appearance was deteriorating over the years. He looked like a completely different person. He wasn't doing well.
It must have been a post. I'm guessing it was some post the neighbor did or interview for like, Daily Mail or whatever, when they interview people. I bet you it's somewhere or a post where the neighbor says that she told him. Just like we found that post on Facebook where obviously the neighbor shared the text messages between her and Whitney. Now I wonder if it's the same neighbor. Probably, huh? But we have seen sometimes people lie. And like, I get what Stephanie's saying. There's no reason why would the neighbor lie, but unless if she's just trying to, for some reason, not damage his name or reputation, but like you would find that hard to believe because the fact that he murdered her kids. So like, you would think that she would just be honest about it. I don't know. I just got to see where this came from. I guess we'll see as things come out. We'll see what the truth is. It's just really confusing to me. Huh. Am I the only one that are like,
So I think that's what happened is she probably, maybe it was only a few times or a handful of times, and she genuinely thought, I don't think that he would ever hurt our children. And when Travis did not bring them home Friday night, he was supposed to bring them home at 8. And when it was like 9:00 and then 9:30, Whitney called the police, and the Wenatchee police, they did want to put out an Amber Alert, but the Washington State Patrol declined it, saying that this case did not meet Amber Alert criteria. They did not believe that the girls were in imminent danger. They said, custody issues like this happen all the time where the kids aren't brought back on time. And if we put out an Amber Alert every time that happened, we'd be putting them out constantly. People would be burnt out from them. But with Travis's military history, his history of mental illness, his history of, being homeless and obviously deteriorating, he wasn't doing well. I think that it should have raised a red flag, and the Washington State Patrol should have given the go-ahead to put out an Amber Alert, because these 3 little girls were found, but they were not found alive. All 3 of their bodies were discovered around 5 p.m. Monday, June 2nd. They were found close to Travis Decker's white 2017 GMC Sierra truck near the Rock Island campground, which is near Leavenworth, about 3 hours east of Seattle. They were confirmed to be dead, and their wrists were zip tied, and their heads were covered with plastic bags. And so their cause of death was obviously asphyxiation. Now, the crime scene itself had other interesting things. So according to the police, there were multiple zip ties and plastic bags sort of strewn around Travis's vehicle. They also found 2 bloody handprints on the tailgate of his vehicle. And there was a nearby campground within walking distance that showed signs of recent activity. There was a tent and a cooler and like a campfire, but Travis Decker was nowhere to be found, and he still is nowhere to be found. And because of his extensive military history, he had specialized training. So the police believe that this man could live off the grid for an extended period of time. Not only that, this appeared to be premeditated because his cell phone coordinates put him at that same exact campground in the location where his daughters were found the day before he picked them up and took them away from their mother's house. So he obviously visited this area, and law enforcement believes that he could have brought supplies there so that he knew after he had done what he had done, he could grab his supplies and sort of disappear. I was even thinking he could have brought some sort of vehicle there, maybe like an off-road vehicle. He had time to prepare, and he had time to sort of set up his getaway. Now, the question is, in a lot of these cases where a parent kills a child, and there's statistics I talked about in my video, they will often take their own lives. And there's bloody handprints found on the back of Travis's car. So I was wondering if that's possible, that he may have done something to himself and then walked into the woods to die. But there has been a pretty major manhunt here. They can't find any trace of him. And new information has showed that he was doing Google searches, and just in the days before he killed his children, and there's going to be people out there who are like, oh, there's no proof he could be another victim. There's no evidence that he killed his children. I 100% believe that he is responsible for this. I don't know, like, this whole devil's advocate thing is getting a little old when we have 3 little girls who are dead. But he searched in the days leading up to this, how does a person move to Canada, how to relocate to Canada, and jobs in Canada. And if anybody knows the area, Washington State is very close to the Canadian border. If he took off, it's very likely that he may already be in Canada and you know, not able to be found or brought back, or he may be on his way there. I don't know how he's going to cross. The Canadian border is pretty strict with letting people in
right now.
Yeah, but I know that you can probably just, if you find the right spot, you can probably just walk into Canada, right? If you're able to, like,
be a rural part of it.
Exactly, but he's got survival skills, so.
Yeah.
And maybe he put the bloody handprints there to, like, throw people off. I don't know. The type of military experience he has, he was in leadership programs. He also would have he would have training on how to be strategic, right? He's in Afghanistan. He's in an active war zone. He's still doing things. He would have the ability to be like, how can I throw people off my trail? Which is what you would have to do in the military anyway. So I was wondering today, because I've been thinking about this case every day, was it a red herring? Like, is he trying to throw people off, make people think he's dead? I don't know, but what's your take on it?
I have a few things I want to discuss. Let's take our only break, and then we'll be right back.
That's what I was referring to. And this, if you guys want to watch this whole video, is Crime Weekly. That's Stephanie Harlow. She does her own. She started off with, like, her own channel, and then she paired up with this ex-law enforcement guy, Derek. I don't think he doesn't work in law enforcement anymore. Does he? Or maybe he still does. I don't know. I think he doesn't, though. But no, I like him. I don't watch him too often, but once in a while there'll be, like, a case that they'll be doing and I'll come across and I'll watch. PI, thank you. Is he still do it? Wait, but he was more than a PI, right? What's his name? Hold on, let me look it up. Derek what, though? Derek Lasvassar. Okay, hold on. Let me look this up. I watched the Big Brother because, like, whatever that one case, like, last year or two that I got a lot of information from them, I ended up really liking him. Like, I like this guy. So he kept talking about Big Brother. So I didn't even know Big Brother, what the show was. I'm like, what is that show? I don't even know what it is. So I went and found the season that he was on and watched it. It's interesting. He's so young in it. But yeah, I like him. They're not bad. They're not bad. They're not bad. Okay. Private investigator. Yeah, I guess. Why did I think? Hold on. But who did he work for? He was a police officer in Central Falls, Rhode Island. So here's what he's: American television personality and private investigator. So he must still be a private investigator. Is that what you're saying, Delana? And then he's best known for winning the reality television series Big Brother in 2014. And then he also was a police officer. That's what I was thinking of when I was trying to think of what, if he was a police officer or if he was, yeah, I knew that. Why was I just saying, like, well, he was a police officer in Central Falls. And he was a host on Breaking Homicide. And then he hosts his own podcast, Detective Perspective. And then he has this with Stephanie called the Crime Weekly. Huh. Yeah, so so I guess he still is a private investigator, right, Elena? He still is, like, practicing, it sounds like? Oh, okay. Wow. He still runs his PI firm. He was just one Traders too. He just won I don't know what Traders is. Is that another show, like, kinda like he did before? Cool. Alright. So he's still in the game. I mean, and then he's doing this, so yeah, interesting. He did really good on Big Brother. So you have to be pretty good at, like it's like, I don't know, it's, like, kinda strategic and, like, I would probably not be very good at it, that Big Brother. It's like, "Whoa, this is complicated." Alright, well, I can't believe nobody wants to join. This happens a lot until I remember when I didn't do really any panels before. Well, I always did them randomly, but then like I would take a big break and then I did it again. And then like nobody would come up and I would just like, it'd be turning me off. Like, nobody's coming. What the heck? But then if I get in a habit of continually doing them and then it starts becoming a thing. So maybe next time I do it, actually somebody will join because they'll be like, oh, she does do panels. Maybe this time I'll do it. Um, and it'll probably start slow and then maybe it'll end up because there'd be points where there would be moments where there'd be so many people, remember, like the Kylie case, and there was another case where it was like, because you could have like 10, I think, backstage or 15 or something, where I had like people were waiting to add, so I had to rotate people out because you could only have so many people. So but that was fun. Stressful a little bit because you're trying to like get everybody on. But I don't know, you guys, I'll try to do one maybe this week. So next live, I don't know if I'll do it next live, but I'll try to do one this week. So if anybody is wants to like come up and talk, try to plan like, you know what, I'll be ready next time and come. Like I said, you don't have to show your face. You could just do audio. Um, I know, Jonathan, but the only problem is I don't 40 minutes. What am I going to do for 40 minutes? I already shared everything I have. 2.5 hours. I was planning on making this majority like open panel, but I saw the numbers that there was only like 50 people. I'm like, because what I was gonna do is share the link as I was going through the stuff, which I should have since I mean nobody would have came probably anyway. But then I was like, oh, there's only like so I just did the stuff and hoped maybe I'll get a couple people if I do it at the end, but it's okay. I'll just change the title. I'll just do it this week. I don't know what case. Maybe I'll do Koberger. Jonathan, you know that case. Why don't we just do it with Koberger? We'll wait and do a Koberger one because maybe there'll be more people that know the case and more. Koberger would be a good one because there is a lot of like differing opinions on that. I feel. Ooh, I don't know. And Elvin, would you come on with a Koberger one? That's why I almost want to plan one where I have the people planned and then we don't risk the flashers. So like Jonathan, like let's say, okay, we'll do it like this time, this day or whatever, and then give me your email. Well, I have your email and then I could send you the link through the email, Elvin, and then it's all planned and I don't have to throw my link out. I mean, it's up to you. Would anybody want to come up for the Koberger one this week sometime? And then we could try to pick a day. Oh, what were you talking about? A new video? That's crazy. What is the new video? From the house, you said? Does anybody know what the new video is? Final Flight Homer, Idaho search just university documentary. Are you talking about like a documentary or what are you talking about? You're not talking about the thing that came out on Dateline, right? The car driving around. I saw that, or is there something else? Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen the one from Dateline. I played it on the car, right? And then the audio, I went over it. That was probably a few weeks ago, maybe. We played it. It is interesting, but yeah, the sound and then the car driving around. Sound I was trying to like we were trying to figure out what it said. But that reminds me, I wanted to put that in my editor and try to maybe figure out more. So maybe I'll do that and then we could. Okay, so who would want to come on this week sometime? For what would be the best case to do it? Wouldn't it be Idaho probably? I don't know much about Elvin. Yeah, we could do that. Um I'm trying to yeah, okay. I want to see what this says. Seemed unusual when he last saw his daughters. There's that article, but it was just that was his final message. Heartbroken mom speaks out after he allegedly kills their 3 daughters. This is an article. Hold on. Washington State mother speaking out through tears after her 3 young daughters were found murdered. Okay, wait. What is something broke? Speaking through your attorney, Whitney says nothing seemed unusual when she last saw her daughters. That moment in hindsight marked the beginning of a nightmare. Hold on. What was the last message? When the man picked up the girls, his babies, he did not have a plan to kill them. There's nothing that indicates he did. That's her lawyer saying that, right? Yeah, I think. He wasn't answering his phone. Well, what's the last thing he said? What'd they say his last? Hold on. Alerts in the across 5 counties: Chelan, Kittitas, King, Snohomish, and Okanogan counties are all issued alerts. They urge residents to lock windows, doors, take extra precautions, especially in remote cabin areas. Travis is wanted after allegedly killing his 3 daughters. Okay, wait. His surveillance video released by police showed Decker with his hair pulled back in a ponytail, along with recent photos highlighting distinctive tattoos on his arms. All those ones where his hair's pulled back, and like those were all like recent photos. That ring was a recent. It says she never imagined this outcome. His ex-wife suffered from PTSD in the years of the Army and Washington National Guard. He often woke up screaming during the night. After exiting the active reserves in 2023, he became homeless. He lived out of his truck and sometimes stayed out in an armory with his girls during visits. Stayed at an armory, sorry. Travis keeps getting more and more unstable. Whitney had written in September 2024 court filing asking the court to stop overnight visits. He made huge sacrifices to serve our country, but he has got to get better for our girls. So here's a picture of the ex-wife and daughters, and it says Whitney Decker. Okay, despite her concern, she never saw violence from him until now. This is why it doesn't make sense. I want to see. I got to find that post of the neighbor. I'm going to look for it. He was a loving man, but something broke. And whatever monster came out of him, it's something that he was trained to do in the military. Huh. In the wake of the tragedy, the GoFundMe was created and her family raised over $1 million as of Friday morning. The page is filled with condolences from strangers, and officials are begging the public to report any sightings of Travis. Okay, we just want this nightmare to end. My boyfriend forced me to take showers. What is this? What? Oh, that's something else. Okay. That was weird. That's like from a different thing. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. Is this the one that I just read? I don't know what's his final message. I don't understand what they're saying. This was his final message. Are they saying killing his daughters? Or is this, I don't get what you're trying to say here. What's his final message? Okay, guys, I am gonna end it. Do a quick wind down, and then we'll do open panel for Idaho. Idaho. Because that, I feel like there's not going to be much to really discuss on this. I feel like we'd have more of a better like discussion of Idaho, to be honest. Hold on, I'm just unstarring some of this so I could. See something. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure. Yeah, remember there's a $20,000 reward, guys. So if anybody is who's on one, put a 1 if you're in Washington right now. Anybody in Washington? Anybody? But thank you for the super chats, Jonathan. Yeah, I think Idaho is going to be a better bet for us. Oh yeah, Sarah had sent this to me a while back. I just now hung it up. But I set up, look. So what I was going to do, guys, I shouldn't tell you because I was going to see if anybody noticed. You know that puzzle, that thing you do with your hands? It's the Grateful Dead one. It's cool. I'm gonna it's in the star right now. I was gonna switch it every live, put it in a different thing, and then I hung that up. I put the little guys right here and hung that up. I run on coffee and true crime. She made me that too, actually. And then I hung this sticker up. This is the best. Hold on, let me overthink this. That's me. Let me overthink this. So I put some new stuff. Oh, make America great again. Or make America grateful again. Sorry, grateful again, because I love the Grateful Dead. Isn't that good? Every little thing's gonna be all right. I used to always like the part of the Bob Marley song. I remember I used to always sing that. I love it. I love Bob Marley. I used to always listen to that when the weather broke and the season changed and it was nice. And I remember every time we used to go to Nelson's and set up camp. When we were setting up the camp, just jam out to Bob Marley because it just made you so happy. Or like I said, just driving with the windows down when the weather started getting nice, just jam out to some Bob Marley. It always just made you so happy. Wait, what happened, Delaney? What are you saying? Oh, the giveaway is a $25 gift card. So when I meet a goal, I put everybody that contribute to that goal. You see how the goal, you see the goal that's up? So I put it for $10 super chats or above, it'll go towards the goal. And then when you meet the goal, everybody that contributed to that goal, I put in a drawing for a giveaway, and I pick it on the live, and then you win a $25 gift card. So you'll be entered in the next one. We haven't met it yet. I continue until we meet the goal. And then all the people, if it takes 3 lives or however many lives, then all the people. I screenshot it, so all you guys will be entered. Now there's one that they already met it, not this one, but another one that I still have to pick the drawing. I don't think you're in that one, Jonathan. That one. Let me see who's in that one. But that one I said I was going to do it on the next Wade case because there's a lot of people that just watch me for that. So I like to increase the chances of the people being in chat when I pick it, because sometimes, just sometimes, they don't ever respond, and I need their email so I could send it to them, so I could get information to be able to send it to them. I could do a virtual card or do it by mail. So like I'll do a community post and say who the winner is, and I'll announce it on lives until they come, and then sometimes they just never come. So there is one person that won that never, I can't find the person because they weren't there when I picked it, and I guess they weren't there when I announced it lives after I put it on the community post. They're just, so like I said, that one that's due to be picked, I did tell the people on the last Wade Live that I'll pick it on a Wade Live, but the people that are going to be entered in that one, let me read it. That one. That one will have, oh, you will be in that one, a chance to be in that one. You have one on that one. You might even have more. I forgot. Oh, it was a 5 and above, I think, on that one. So Casey, Jonathan, LDTD 805, AGEM, Wanda. So there's that analytical one, Hope. Oh, that might be the same one. No, 2 for Hope. So she'll get 2 entries. So there's that again. Or wait, did I just read the same one? Oh yeah, I'm reading the same one, but Hope you do have 2, I think. Oh yeah. Geraldine, Jonathan, you do have 2 for that giveaway. So you'll be entered in twice on the one coming up. 3. You'll have 3 in that one. Holy moly. So the next Wade Live I do, I'm going to pick the winner. Now for this one that I started for today, that'll just be on any live. I'll pick the winner once we get it. But you have, AGM has 2. So there's that. Anton, A Skywalker, Cicely, Jahara, KV, Sweetly, or Sweet Lay. Is it Lay or Lee? Sweet Lay Maid. It's probably Lee. Sweet Lee Maid. Happy Sheep. Midnight Lace. And that's who I'm going to put in for the next wave. Now, Gidget. Sorry, Gidget, you're in there too. Sorry, I almost missed you there. And then for this new one, we haven't made the goal yet, so it's going on the 3rd live. We haven't made it, but the people, once we make it, we'll have AGM, Jenny Burke, Taylor, Gabby. So there's that. K Court, Jonathan, you, and Jonathan 2 for you. So that'll be, but that one's drawing's not ready, but the first group of people will be. So yeah. And then every time is a $25 gift card. The first couple I already had them bought for it. So they got specific ones that I had, and I said what it was before the goal. But since I don't have any more, like I didn't buy any more, I figured I'll do it like when they win, I'll ask them what they want it. So that's what I'm going to do now, because I feel like, why not just wait and then they could tell me what they want. So like Amazon, I could do virtual cards through some places like Amazon. You could do a virtual card, or if there's a place where I could send it through the mail, but that's how that goes. Oh my God. I think I'm going to do an Ezra thing. Thought I was Lana Banana. Yeah, that's right. Virtual pink eye. What? Oh, you're talking about somebody else. All right, guys, I am going to go. I am going to go. I don't know what I'm talking about. I guys will see you. Hey, if they catch him, I'll freaking do maybe an update. All right, I will see you guys. I don't know what I'll do next, but just be paying attention. We need to get at least 100 people in chat. I can't believe I had 50. Come on, guys. Where's everybody at? We need to get 100 people, okay? share it around so we get more people. All right, guys. And then, like I said, we could do an Idaho panel maybe this week, okay? Oh, nice. Oh, wait. Harley Quinn, I know. It's been a while since I've eaten some acid. Gosh, it's been forever. Or like mushrooms. We got some mescaline for New Year's Eve fish one year. That was pretty crazy. But if you get like some good acid, I like that kind of that's a good trip if you get some good acid. But yeah, I think, you know what? I feel like I've experienced, my 20s, and I've done enough of that in my life that I feel like I don't really have any desire. Like I feel like I learned what I needed to learn from like tripping, mushrooms, acid, mescaline, all that. I feel like I've learned what I needed to, and, I got the experience, plenty of experiences with it. Like I have no desire that I need to do it anymore. I don't have anything against people that need to. I think it's an experience that really should be had because it's like it's an eye opener, as long as you're in a safe place, but like, yeah, I don't have any desire to do it anymore. I got what I needed out of it, and yeah, but oh yeah, well, so come in for Idaho, come up for the Idaho one. It's okay, like come up for the Idaho because it probably will be a way better discussion because this is more like, I feel like it's is what it is. And yeah, I mean, of course you could still discuss it, but I feel like Idaho or cases like that would be a better discussion if we could get like a few people up at the same time to have like an actual good discussion. Oh, thanks, Elle. Oh, guess who emailed me? So random. Yang Mayo, the guy that messaged Wade and that like sent him $2,000 and that bought his clothes and wanted his boxers and stuff. He emailed me, right, with his name, Yang Mayo, and he said, hey, he's asking about the pictures and where I got him. And so I messaged him back and I'm like, it's Yang, the guy that talked to Wade? I was like, did you have phone calls with him? Because I wanted to see, because then I know if he says no, then I'll take that off the list and try to hurry up and tell them, take that off so I don't have to pay for you guys looking for calls that didn't exist. And that, if Wade tried to call and didn't pick up, I'd be charged for like hang up. So I said, hey, did you actually call him? Did you actually have phone calls with him? You know what he responded? He said, how the heck did you know I talked to Wade? And then he says, did you call him or something? And I'm like, I'm so confused because I'm like, wait a minute. If you watched my video on the pictures, like you haven't been watching any videos or you aren't aware that we've been reading your messages? Like, I'm so confused, but maybe not. Maybe he hasn't really watched any of my videos, but heard it from all these new Wade lovers. You know what I'm saying? That I had the pictures, and since he's like a Wade lover, I don't know if he still is, but was, maybe like he just had heard it and was like, ooh, let me check it out. And maybe he hasn't watched any of my stuff. I was like so surprised because like his name, and then confused how I knew that he talked to Wade. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that really crazy? I'll try. So he thought, like I said, that I was talking to Wade because I knew that he was talking to him. So I think he was thinking, oh, you must have talked to him and knew. How did you know I talked to him? Isn't that crazy? It's like, whoa. So he just contacted me, like knowing nothing, like thinking that I had no idea who he was or anything. Like, hey, where'd you get those pictures? Can I have a copy? Like, I'm just curious where you got them. I watched your latest video. Yeah. Wade's, yeah, that sounds funny. Yes, Wade's Young Mayo or whatever. Yes. And that's like his email, his name. Like, that's crazy. And I believe he had no idea because, like, he just emailed me with his normal account. So maybe, I don't know if he would be if he would, like, be down to do an interview or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. So he must not really watch too much, like maybe he doesn't watch too many Wade videos and just happened to come across that I was showing the pictures and wanted to see them. I could try to ask. I didn't respond back. It just was like depending on like how I should respond. But yeah, maybe I'll just say, hey, yeah, I don't know. Should I say that we had his messages? I'm trying to think how to approach this. Like, yeah, we know who you are because we were able to do like I was able to get a files request to get messages and stuff. Like, would you be willing to come on and maybe do an interview or something? Tell us his experiences, but I'm just curious. Well, at least at the very minimum, I could ask if is he still talking to him, and is he still like is he still a supporter of him? But here's the thing, if he hasn't been watching any of the stuff, maybe he doesn't know like what a piece of crap Wade is and like everything that has been exposed with Wade, and maybe he still does support because he doesn't even realize. I don't know. And then I was thinking maybe he doesn't speak English. Like maybe, there's translators. He could definitely email me. Maybe he doesn't actually speak it. So maybe he doesn't really watch the videos. I mean, but you can always translate on videos. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, he's real. He gave him money. He gave him $2,000. He was trying to buy his clothes. I think he did end up getting some of his clothes, but he didn't get everything he bought, like that he was supposed to get. Wasn't he supposed to get boxers or something he didn't get that he paid for? But he got some of them, and I know he wanted more. Remember, he was always asking Wade for more and stuff. But he was the guy that Wade was talking about to Robin when Robin asked if he was bi, and he's like, no, and not in real life. And then he brought up that was the guy he was talking about, like how he liked him and he was giving him all this money and stuff. So yeah, that was really interesting. I was like, what the heck is going on? Oh. Yeah, I don't think he is. Maybe that's actually good that he's not. Because, like, he might be more willing to, like, come on, be like, oh, yeah, like, oh, come on, I talked to Wade. You know what I'm saying? He's not in the drama. It might actually be good that he's not in all the drama, you know? Thanks, Elvin. Hold on. Let me super chat. Or super chat. Let me screenshot that so you could be entered. Oh, and you too, Jonathan, because you did two. Hold on a second. Because you did one after that, and I didn't get. Oh, wait, guys, hold on. I forgot to share this. One more thing. Hold on. Oh, my Lord. There's a couple. Hold on a second. I can't believe I forgot this. One second. Let me do. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay, two things. Let me make sure, because I have two of yours. I want to make sure that everybody gets the right amount of drawings. So you have 1, 2, okay. And then because it's the 10 above for this one. So Elvin and John. So you'll have 3 entries in the new one so far. Okay. So look, just really quick, guys, and then I am going to end it because it's already going on 3 hours. I'll end it. 3 hours is a good amount. Okay. When I was watching that video, I was going through groups and look, his dog, Travis's dog, somebody found him in Lost and Found Pets. At least they let me compare it to his dog now. So hold on. So it was Siberian Husky mix, 6 years, 4 months, males, found date 6/3. So he was basically probably lost for what, 3-4 days. Location found Icicle Road, size medium, color black and white. Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is the site. Declawed, no. Report type animal in custody. And then I brought up, I think this is a picture. I think this is supposed to be his dog, right? Hold on. And then I got to show you something else too. Hold on. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I mean, it looks like him. I was trying to find that picture of the dog that was with him because that one was in the group. So I think it's the dog and the daughter, but I'm not 100% sure. So hold on, let's make sure and look at the one with him because I don't know it is really for sure here, right here. Hold on, let me do something really quick. What the heck? Oh, hold on, because I wanted to show you one more thing, but hold on, I have to add it into the group. It has to be in like the same area for me to freaking do them side by side. Okay, hold on. I have to put it in this folder and then I'll be able to do it. All right. Okay. Well, is it? Hold on, guys. Now you guys got to tell me. You think it is? Why does he look darker right there? He looks a lot lighter, but it could just be the lighting. You know how sometimes the lighting could make it look darker because everything else looks exactly the same. He just looks a little bit lighter. He could be dirtier here or dirtier here, or the lighting could make a difference. What do you guys think? Because Zeke, I know Zeke, in certain lighting, he looks black, but in sunlight or certain lights, he looks like gray white. So I'm telling you, Elsie, I hear you, but lighting is crazy. Like, seriously, out when we're walking him, he almost looks, he is like a whitish gray. And you guys have seen Zeke, he looks black inside. So I don't know. Anyway, and then this, his search thing. I don't know how somebody got this, but hold on. Let me show you real quick. Let me uncheck. Where's the other one? This one. I got to uncheck it. Okay. Look. Search 52625. Visited a find a job in Canada. Like I said, it's supposedly his search history. I know he visited how to relocate in Canada, so it probably is. That was on 526. But for those of you, if this is really accurate and this is his search history, which I don't know where people got it, and people saying it's not premeditated, yeah, with this shows that it is then. Less if he was just going to go move there himself and then he got the girls and decided otherwise. But this almost shows like, I feel like it also shows like it could be premeditated. So for like legal purposes, like I feel like it does that. I mean, that's what you would think when you see this. Okay. From 526. And then search for jobs in Canada, how to relocate to Canada, which, so I think this is legit because we know he did. That was actually said that was his search. So this probably is. I wonder, I'm gonna look for like different documents and stuff. So I could get my own and see what's out there. But yeah, how to relocate to Canada on 526. And how does a person move to Canada? All on 526 around 5:54 p.m., 5:52, 5:56 p.m. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, and then hold on, let me take that down. One more thing real quick. Here is somebody put, oh, here's the other tattoos, guys, though. I don't know, like the tattoo up close. He's got one right there on his ankle. It looks like a woman's head or something. And he's got, yeah, he's lost some weight because remember how like thick, oh wait, sorry, that wasn't shared. Remember how thick his legs were and muscular at the old pictures? Look how, I mean, they're still muscular, but look how like they're a lot thinner. And then, hold on. Like I said, that's him right there. But then, somebody posted this in a group. It says a rigorous 24-mile round trip backpack into the Enchantment Lakes Basin. One of the most scenic lake basins in the Alpine Lake Wilderness. So this is the area he was in, right? Elevation gain and loss plus 6,150 feet, negative 755 feet, 1,300 feet trailhead elevation, high points 7,450 feet. Maps: Leavenworth, Liberty, Mount Stewart, all the Chickawacom Mountains, 15-minute USGS quads, Wenatchee National Forest, season mid-July through October. Water availability abundant, permit required, finding the trailhead, US Highway 2 at the west end of Leavenworth, 33.4 miles east of Stevens Pass, turn south onto the signed Icicle Creek Road. That's where that was the road that they found that dog on. I think it is his dog. I mean, they found him like 3 days after on that road. Follow this paved road past several rural residents and then west up Icicle Creek. You'll reach the large parking area. The hike, the most scenic hiking area in the state. Forested, some alpine, some with fair fishing. Lie on benches that proceed in stair-step fashion down the U-shaped drainage of Snow Creek. Jagged, broken alpine creek surrounded the basin. Attracted. Okay, so I thought this was going to have more. I thought it was going to have more interesting stuff. Oh, heavily used, implemented a wilderness permit system from June. Permits are required for a day as well as overnight. 75% of the daily quota permits can be reserved by mail after March 1st. Okay, hold on. Let's see if there's any. No dogs are allowed. No campfires. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's very treacherous type. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I guess if he has a gun, but I mean, how many bullets does he have to hunt, to live, to eat? You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to try to kill with his hands, or I mean, I guess you could make weapons out of stuff from nature, but it's like, I don't know. You know, he's not gonna be able to survive that much with the stuff he has that long. He barely has anything. I think it's gonna end. Something's gonna happen within the next couple of days, in my opinion. What do you guys think? All right. What was I talking about before that? You guys, what were we talking about? can't remember. Oh, we was talking about the giveaway. All right, guys. I'm gonna go. Thank you guys. And yeah, but nah, not with everybody in on his area, not having any. He was in shorts and a t-shirt, so weather-wise, he didn't bring anything. We don't even know if he has a gun. I mean, he probably does. He might be able to survive a little bit, but not with everybody looking for him. So he can't just be open and do what he wants. He's got to actually, number one, try to survive and then try to hide. It's not going to last that long. I'm sorry. There's no way. Yeah, they could survive in the woods if people aren't after them. We got military forces. Remember, he has to not only try to hide, but yet can't, survive plus not be seen and hide. He's going to end up dying of some whatever of him trying to live, or they're going to catch him. You really think he's going to survive for like a couple months without being caught and actually survive? Like, it's one thing just going out and surviving. Nobody's after you. You have the freedom to do whatever. It's another, and so you could, but it's another thing to be able to have to take precautions to hide when he's got military, he's got so many people looking for him. No, I really don't think it's gonna be a thing that's gonna go on for months before. Now, the thing I'm worried about is if he does, let's say he dies out there somewhere hidden, like, how long would it take for us to find a body, if it's in like a spot that it's, so I could see that happening where they don't find like if he's dead and they don't find his body for a while, if he dies from like the terrain and trying to survive and weather or whatever, be animal, wildlife, and then they don't find him and then people are scared for months not knowing. But I think by the end of the week, they're going to catch him. That's my prediction. I don't know. That's tough, Delana. I should do a poll. So okay, so how many people think he's going to actually make it out and go to make it to Canada? He's not even. Oh yeah. Does anybody think he's actually going to be able to cross the border and make it out? I feel like they got people on the border, but I guess there's probably weak spots where, you could try to sneak, but wouldn't they, would Canada be aware? Like, would you think that like law enforcement in Canada are aware about this guy, that they tell him, hey, this guy, look out for him if he comes, or no? That's what I wonder. Like, is the communication like that or no? That's the problem. I know. That's why I wonder if he does die, if it'll take forever to find him. I don't know. Who knows? Harley. Oh, you're funny. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I know he has training, but that's a rough terrain. I don't know. He doesn't have any like materials. So yeah, it's possible that he has training, but could he actually do it? I don't know. Okay, good. Yeah. All right, guys, I'll see ya. Oh, that's good. I know, I don't. Oh, I was just talking to at my appointment. I was just talking to the girls. She brought it up. She's talking about like this case. She's like, did you hear about this case? I was just talking to her about that. Like, I don't understand when people take their own life, why do they have to take others with them? Like, they're gonna be gone. They're not even gonna like know, or you know what I'm saying? Why take innocent lives when like you're gonna take your life anyway? So you're not even gonna be aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Let them live. I don't get it. It's one thing to want to do that to yourself, but like if you're gonna do that to yourself, why do that to anybody else then first? You won't even be on this earth for them to bother you or to have any you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. It makes no sense. I could see, which I can't see because I could never do that to anybody. But like you could I don't even want to say understand because I don't want people to take this the wrong way. But like, let's say you're fighting with somebody and you hate somebody, it's like out of passion. That makes sense to a degree. Like I would never be able to understand killing in general, like why anybody would do it. But you could kind of make sense. Okay, you're so mad, you hate them. But like they're kids, there's no way, like a situation like that, there's no way that you hated them and you were so angry with them and they did something to you. So it's not like it was like, oh, I hate them so bad, screw them. Like I want to take their life, screw them. They like in their eyes, because sick people like, oh, they don't deserve to live. You know what I'm saying? If they're so angry at like somebody they loved or somebody they hated, you know what I'm saying? Even though, like I said, I still would never be able to do it. And I still don't understand anybody killing anybody. But to do it to like kids where they didn't do anything, not that anybody deserves it, but that it's not like an act of like them hating something like, oh my God, where's ready to die. It's like somebody they probably love and it just didn't do, you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. Just if you want to take your own life, take your own life. But I guess he didn't take his life. So what am I even talking about? He didn't anyway. Yeah. But I'm just in general, like people doing that, like just why? It makes no sense. Or like, you know, how people would do like random people. So, you know, there's no like hatred or anything. And then like, why not just, why would you just take your own life? Why would you? I don't know. It makes no sense. But like with him, I don't know because he didn't take his own life. So what was he, like, why his kids? Like, what is going on? What's his purpose? What happened? Like, what? I don't understand. If you wanted to go to Canada, just go to Canada. Like, then you wouldn't even have, you could have just crossed the border. Nobody would have cared. Like, oh, what is wrong with people? I don't know. Where does it say that at? Wait. Yes, he did it to punish his wife. Jerk face. That's why I think Chad did it. Oh, I think he did it to get back at his wife, to like hurt his wife. Now with this, I don't know, because I don't like the way his wife's talking about, Travis's wife's talking about is like they had a good relationship as far as like they were co-parenting and stuff. So, and I know she's seen a decline, but as far as him wanting to get back at her, was there this secret hatred or animosity towards her? Maybe. I'm glad you brought that up because you're right. That is a reason for sometimes that parents do that to their, yeah. And there's no I mean, it's not an excuse. I'm just saying that's their mentality. So maybe deep down he had this hate and resentment. And he wanted to hurt her. That's good. I'm glad. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you messaged that because I think that is some of the reasons that a parent does that to the other parent to hurt the other parent. Because what would hurt in reality, taking their life or where they would be gone anyway, so they wouldn't have to suffer, or taking the kid's life where then they have to suffer the rest of their life. So yeah, I forgot about that. That is a reason. Not that makes sense to me, but like it, you know, huh. So yeah, maybe. The thing is if we catch him and he's already dead, we'll not get the answers. And we still might not get the answers if he is alive, but maybe there's a better chance if we catch him alive that he could eventually give answers like what, not that it's going to make it better, but at least to begin to try to like get it, even though, like I said, never makes sense, but in his head, to understand, like in his head, what he thought, it like, why, you know? Yeah, yeah. But do you think that's the case here, Meryl? Do you think he had this secret hatred and resentment towards her? I know with Chad, it definitely was. Yeah, I know. I know. I can't, and she's still, after what he did, she's still saying the system failed him. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that, yeah. So if that's what he did, it's like, you piece of crap. Like, she still cares enough about you that she still remembers like the good in you, and is still like, has some kind of hope that, you're not just this evil jerk, that, you know what I'm saying, that did that, but the system failed you. Yet, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the reason, Delana. I don't know. But when I just saw that, it just reminded me that about why Chad, I think why Chad did it. So I'm thinking, could that be, could that be like deep down he had, like, I don't know, maybe he didn't want to leave her. And the divorce was her idea. Like, maybe he wanted to stay with her. You saw that person, wait, what was it? Who was it that said that he was trying to get back with her, or he told his kids? I don't know if that was a credible source. I'm trying to think. I just read that article where he told that person he was going to get back with her, and told the kids that he was going to be moving back. I don't know if that's true, but maybe he really did want to be with her, and the fact that she wasn't taking him back, he was trying to punish her. Who freaking knows? That's the thing, like, with those decisions, it never really makes sense. But I always like to understand the intent of what's in their head. Like, what are they thinking? Even though it won't make sense to like normal people that would never do that. But like, still, I would still want to know, like, what was he thinking? Like, what was the point? Like, what in your head did you, the reason that you had in your head, Yeah. 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 All right, guys, I'm gonna go. Wow, I did it 15 more minutes extra than I thought, but okay. Oh, I wanted to show you. Look, I got my Coventry shirt on. I was talking about that festival, the fish one that we walked like 16 miles because there was a hurricane. It was in Vermont, and there was a hurricane, and they said no more cars were allowed. It was like a 4-day festival, and so like, how many people? Thousands, a lot of thousands of people parked on the side of the highway and walked in. Like, they said no cars, not people. Well, there was already the early bird people that were already there, but the mud, and they were getting stuck. And so they're like, no more cars are allowed in. Like, waiting in traffic for 24 hours. They had their own, like, in Vermont, because they were a college band in Vermont, and they had their own like station still, that radio station we're all listening to. And like, sorry, we can't let cars. And they were even like on there, the band Fish. Sorry, we can't let anybody, like, can't just, everybody's getting stuck. Like, oh, they said cars, not people. So they let us all walk in. That was this festival. It was so awesome. Coventry. But it was a mud fest. Oh my God. I went basically the whole weekend without shoes because I had flip-flops and they got stuck in mud. It was the first night walking into where the show was, because you camp right there. They rented out like a whole airport, and then you walk to where the stage was, and there's these boards you're all slipping on, trying to like line up and walk, or you could like walk through the big mud thing that goes straight through. So I'm like, screw it, I'm just gonna walk through, and I walked through, and like, it was up to your knees of mud, and my flip-flops, they were just stuck in the mud. I couldn't get them out. So I just walked the rest of the thing without shoes on, barefoot. It was all muddy. Oh my God, it was crazy. Remember, the porta potties were so overflowing with poop. We were all just like going outside, but it was so packed with tents. I mean, you were like right on top of each other camping. It was still fun. It was awesome. It was an experience, but like, since the porta potties, it's like either you have to like overflowing, because like the weather, like people, like they couldn't get in, like people couldn't get in to like do what they were supposed to do for the service, like the festival, because of the mud. So yeah, we were just going like, and it was like no privacy. Like there wasn't even like any place to like go without people there to see because there's all kinds of tents and it was all like flat. It wasn't like trees. I remember like finding like a bush or something, try to go behind a bush, but oh, that was the sucky part is going to the bathroom. And then deciding, okay, what are you going to bring for camping? We're not going to have our car. We're going to be walking how many miles? What are we going to bring for food? And we have to bring our tent, chairs, sleeping bag, pillow. We're going to be sleeping out there. Bring beer. I remember we picked beer. We picked some food, our tent, sleeping bag, pillows. We had to walk, like hike like 16 miles. And then I remember the wheels on our cooler broke off. So we had to take turns dragging it, but we had to bring in our food and, and I remember there's people like helping us drag it, like taking turns because it killed. But, yeah, oh my God. And then I remember cooking like some of the meat or whatever before we left. Like, we're not going to be able to bring all this. It's going to go bad. So we just like cooked some of the stuff on the highway to ate a good meal. Man, that was crazy. But yeah, I wore this because I remember telling the story. I'm like, I'm going to wear it and show you guys. Bonnaroo, yes, I went to the first Bonnaroo, the first one, the very first one. Where that was another thing, 24 hours in traffic. We had to sleep in the car overnight, peeing on the side. I remember the one point, Abby, one of the girls that was in the car with me, she went up to the cop because there was cops. So I was like, like she goes up and she goes, "Hey, where can we go to the bathroom?" And he's like, "Oh, just on the side of the road," like a cop telling her that. Oh my God. But Bonnaroo, 24 hours in traffic on the highway, and then also with the Coventry, where you're just like basically you're camping out on the highway. You're cooking food, hacky sacking, peeing, sleeping, drinking, all on the side of the road. Because they didn't have the first Bonnaroo, they didn't have like the traffic and everything. They didn't have it figured out where it didn't run smooth. I heard after that they had like it planned out better where the traffic was better. But it was the very first one. Did you go to the very first one or was it not, Delana? Because I know it was a current one, but the very first one, of course, I'm going to say is the best because it turned, I feel like from what I heard at years after, it turned more commercialized. Like I feel like the bands that I was hearing that came afterwards, like more commercialized bands. But when I went, it was not. It was like String Cheese Incident, Phil Lesh, Bob Weir, Rat Dog, Phil Lesh and Friends, like people from Grateful Dead. Jack Johnson, but Jack Johnson before he was like more mainstream. It was like before more when he was like not mainstream. Ben Harper was there. Mo. They had like like the side concerts, all night concerts. You could go to all night tent where somebody was playing. I forget, but it ended up being more commercialized. There was somebody else, hold on, that I'm trying to think of that was really awesome. Like the main bands that play Widespread Panic. Widespread Panic was one of the main ones. Yeah, it was fun. I only went to the first one though. I remember on the way home, our Jeep, it was Johnny, Abby's Jeep. And I was in the car with Johnny and Abby, and then Dom and what's his name? Like I can't think. Aaron was in the truck behind us, but it was just a truck, like a 2-seater. So, and then it was a Jeep that we were in, but on the way. Wait. Oh, Todd. No, Todd was with us too. Zimmerman. That's right. He's dead now. But on the way home, the Jeep broke and we had to take it and get it fixed. So we had to like get a hotel and wait till it got fixed. It like broke down. I forget what was wrong with it. It's like, oh, it was so hot too. Oh my God, it was so hot. So hot. Wait, but Delana, was it the first Bonnaroo or not? Was it the one I was talking about or no? I gotta know if you were at the same one or was it not? Hold on, let me see. Kids can't get enough music. I used to go to all the time. That was my life, music festivals. I haven't been in so long, but that's my 20s and teens, 20s, and probably maybe early 30s, like festivals, Nelson's Ledges, Fish, Widespread Panic, The Dead, String Cheese. Hookah was at Nelson's a lot. Just off. I just used to live for them. They were so fun. But and then, yeah, it's been dang. I don't even know how long it's been since I even went to a concert. Anyway, all right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you this. I don't know, maybe tomorrow. Huh? What are you talking about, Harley? What do you mean? The mud? It was like on a they rented out like a old airport base. The mud from the earth, from the land. What do you mean where'd the mud come from? When a lot of rain from the hurricane, there was a big hurricane. We were in Vermont. And that weather went into the soil and then when dirt gets wet, it turns into mud. I'm confused what you mean. Anyway, wait, so you were at the first one? Wait a minute, Elena. Do you like that music that I just named? Because those were like the main bands. You like those bands? Why didn't I know that? Are you serious? We were at the same. So crazy. I did not know that. What? Are you? I'm waiting for you to respond because I'm so confused. I didn't know you liked that music. Why do I think that was the year? It was what's his name? The guy from Widespread Panic that died. I think that was like his last concert too. So it was like a big thing when when it was like his last thing and then he died. I'm pretty sure he died. That was the last one that he did. Cause I think he had to like sit down. Oh, and Trey's band from Fish played at it. Trey was there. Oh my god, why can't I think of what? Maybe it was just Trey. I'm trying to think what if his band was called something. It's been so long. I can't believe I can't forget. I'm forgetting. But yes, and I think if I'm remembering right, he actually played with Phil and Bob, right? Trey from Fish. So there was like everybody that I wanted to see because it was when Bonnaroo was when Fish was on a hiatus, so they weren't touring at that one point. So everybody wanted to see Trey. He was the the main guy, the singer and the guitar, guitars from Fish. So everybody like, oh my god, Trey's gonna be there with his band. He had like what was his band called? But anyway, it doesn't matter. I can't believe I can't think. But yeah, and everybody thought there was rumor that they thought that Fish was gonna play, like they were gonna get together and play a couple songs together. Like, oh my god. I think Dom thought that, yeah, they're gonna, they're all gonna show up and play, but they didn't. But yeah, that's crazy. Delana, who did you go see? Did you go see any of the bands I said? I didn't know you listen to them. Huh. Maybe we were beside each other. Well, who did you see? Like, I want to know. Were you there at those? That's so weird. How long did you wait in traffic? We waited like 24 hours overnight. You just sleep. You just would like turn off the car. You just kind of wait until it moved a little bit and then start it back up because it was so hot too. We just slept. And I mean, we also had to sleep too. while we were waiting, but it was going so slow. So crazy. Oh yeah, my mom cut it. Do you like it? I like it. It always feels so good when you first get your hair cut, when you wash it, you're like, ah. And to blow dry it, it just was so easy. I love when a hair is first cut. Yeah, peeing in the road, we were too. We were by a place for a long time where there's a row of bushes and then it went back. So if you had to like poop or anything, like you just go, and we were at that point when there was cops. So it's like, shoot, we were doing it all night, but then I was like, there's a cop. So like, we're gonna get in trouble for doing it. So that's when Abby's like, hey, where can we pee at? You're like, oh, over there where everybody else is peeing out of the road. And everybody's on the side of the road cooking and hacky sacking all night, just hanging out, just people walking back and forth on the highway, smoking weed, drinking, just everything because it's like you're not going anywhere. It's so good. All right. Hi, Jahara. Jahara. Thank you, though. I need to go see a concert. I don't have anybody to go with. Who wants to go somewhere? I need to go somewhere. I want to do something. I'm bored. I want to do something, like go somewhere. I don't know. Concert. I'm trying to think who I'd want to go see now at this moment. I'm going to go to Vegas really bad, but I don't have anybody to go with. My mom, she said she would go with me, but whenever, because we can't go. My grandma, like, have my uncle or my aunt, and she won't ask him. No, whenever, whatever happens, and she'll go with me. But they should, because we're watching her 24 hours a day. I was like, you shouldn't feel bad. They should feel lucky that they don't, have to worry about it. So it's like they can watch her a couple nights, but anyway. No, I didn't crowd surf. No. The beach. I'm not a beach person. I don't like water. I used to when I was younger, I swam and stuff in the ocean and stuff, but no, I don't anymore. I'm not, nope. No, I like the beach because I like the feel of it and looking at it, but as far as to swim and stuff, so I'm more of a mountain girl, but I would go to a beach just to be there, but you won't catch me swimming anymore. But the feel of it's kind of fun, just to be in the beach environment. But what beach would you say? Raccoon Island. I never even heard of that. Raccoon? I don't think I want to go to something called Raccoon Island. Raccoon? Nice. Where's that at, Delana? Where's your beach, Cicely? Anybody likes Vegas? Anybody like Vegas? It's not like I have to gamble. I just like being in Vegas because yeah, I go gamble a little bit. I don't go overboard. I know my limit. Look, I'm going to spend this much, but I like going to the shows, just walking around. The casinos are cool. I just like the feel of it, What be a Disto Island? Where's that at? Okay, I thought maybe it was a typo, Jonathan. I thought you were gonna say it was a typo. Okay, so it is called a Raccoon Island. Is there a lot of raccoons in there? Um, did he win anything? Harley, where are you from? And what beach, Casey, did you mean? You never said. You're cutting your hair? How short? Yeah, I know exactly. Like it is. It's fun. But I gamble a little bit slots or a little bit blackjack or whatever. But you don't have to do it a lot. Yeah, just a little bit, or you really don't even have to and to have a good time. There's good shows, the Cirque du Soleil or whatever shows there. There's like concerts, people that have what do you call it? What do they call it? Like things there, or they do. I don't know who's playing there right now. They have that dome that I want to see a concert there so bad. The Grateful Dead played a bunch of concerts there, shows there. They had a thing there. What is the word for it? Where they play there all the time? I really miss. I wish I would have. Well, I don't. I think they're. I don't know if they're done or not. I have to look it up. But oh, I got to see something there. Looks amazing. That big thing. What is it called? Dome or something? Oh my god. NorCal. Okay, Harley. Hmm. Yeah, I've been there a bunch too. I used to go with my dad. My mom went a couple times. I went for my friend's wedding. Um, yeah, it's a phone. It's a phone. My first time I went, I stayed at the Flamingo because that was where she was getting married. My friend Maggie, and then I've stayed at my god, I can't remember where I stayed. Wait. What hotel was it that the Beatles Love Show played at? I seen that twice or three times. Amazing. They used to have a Cirque du Soleil Love. So it was called Beatles, all Beatles music. Oh my god, it was amazing. My dad saw it like 8 times. He would go every time. But I think I seen it 3 times. Like different trips. But I forget whatever place that was at. I stayed there once. I stayed at why can't I remember where I stayed hotel-wise? I remember those 2, but I can't remember the other ones. The Sphere, that's what it's called. Thank you. I couldn't think of what it's called, the Sphere. Um, a Disto Beach. Okay, okay. Where at? BC? A house? Oh, you're talking about Vegas? I've never been west. I don't remember. Have I been to Chicago? I can't remember. I don't think I have actually. Why can't I remember if I have? I've been to New York a few times. How many times have I been to New York? 4. I think I've been to New York 4 times. Well, that's city. Now I've been to New York, the state, more for concerts. Just New York City, I've been 4 times. New York State, I've been to Sarasota. Wait, Saratoga. Whatever. There's whatever the place is called that's similar to that that's in New York. That's for a show. I don't know. I feel like I've been to a few places in New York somewhere for shows. Anyway. Yeah, I was in the wedding too. My friend, one of my best friends from high school, I was in her wedding in Vegas at the Flamingo. Yep. It was pretty. It was nice. Like she actually, how some people go, they get married in Vegas. It's just like a quick, barely anybody there. She actually had like a wedding party and like there was like people, you know what I'm saying? Not a ton of people, but it was like, I think there was 5 of us in the wedding for girls and then the guys, whatever, probably 5 or 6 guys, whatever. And then the families. I mean, I would say, I don't know how many people, but there was a couple rows, people. But it was nice. It was a nice little area where she got married. That was actually my first time in Vegas. I was, how old was I? 21 maybe. I wasn't, or it was younger. I was definitely a young, I feel like I just turned 20. I feel like I was only like 21 or 22. I was just of age, I feel like. In a box, what do you mean, Harley? Who's Neelis? Nillis? Where's Nillis? Oh, you're asking. I don't know where it's at. Why did somebody say they went there? What did he do for the sphere? What show did he see, Delana? Oh, that's where you're asking. Okay. All right, guys. I gotta go. I'm hungry, but I haven't been eating after dinner. But we ate dinner so freaking early. We ate dinner at 3:30. Starving. So here's my thing. I either eat something and stay up late, or I just go to bed right now so I can not be hungry because I haven't broke my diet yet. I've been not eating after dinner, no matter if I eat at 5, 6. Rarely do I eat that dinner. Usually dinner's like around 4, but we eat at 3:30. Oh my God, I'm starving. Shit, what do I do, guys? I guess I gotta go to bed because I'm too hungry. But I drank this. All right, I'm gonna go. Bye, guys. I'll see you maybe tomorrow. Oh, I didn't even read this, Jonathan. I didn't even read some of your last ones. I'm sorry. I didn't read that. That's nice. Zev, you look so cute today and happy. Hopefully the super chat will get you to the next level. Aw, thanks. Sorry, I haven't read some of them. What did you say? Elvin, I didn't read yours out loud either. Last minute super chat. Group hugs, everyone. Aw. And then, oh, when was that? I don't know. I think I am going to end it because I'm starving. So I'm going to start getting grumpy. So no, I don't. Let's wait because I feel like I'm going to get like, when you're hungry and you get grumpy, and I don't want, I don't want to have you up and then be grumpy. Let's wait for Idaho because I am. I'm either going to have to eat something or I'm going to bed. Dude, my bed is so comfortable. Oh my God. But drank this, so probably won't be able to sleep again. But oh my God, I was so sore because I've been freaking rearranging, getting the area ready for the bed. I had to put a mattress in the thing, like just doing a bunch of stuff. I was cleaning out here and like bending down a bunch with my legs. And oh my God, I was so sore yesterday. And then I walked around the kitchen a bunch. I freaking laid in that bed, put it on 0 gravity. Oh my God, I was just sitting there like, this is so amazing. Like it felt no pain. Like I felt like there was no pressure on any parts of my body. And I was just sitting there like I was sleeping on a gosh darn cloud. So 0 gravity, it's a setting. Like you don't have to do it on that setting. You can recline it up. You can recline your feet up, or you can do both like this. But 0 gravity just does it where it raises it real high and it just has like a nice little elevation on both sides. And you're like, just like it raises your feet a little bit and you're up, your back a little bit, and you're just like sitting there, just like I was just sitting, like I was really just like thinking in my head, like, oh my, like my body was like tingling. I felt like this feels amazing, but I couldn't. My brain was awake, and I was so exhausted. I canceled the live. I could not sleep. So both nights I've had the bed. Only had it for 2 nights. Extremely comfortable, no pain at all, but can't sleep. Tossed and turned, not literally tossed and turned because I was just mostly laying there, but like basically could not sleep for hours. Like I said, that first night, didn't go to bed till like 4:30, but I was with Zeke. He slept with me. And so he woke up at like 7:30. So I got down and let him out. So then I was like, I'm just going to stay up. So I barely got any sleep. Yesterday, went to bed pretty early, so exhausted. Did I cancel the live? I was so tired. Lay down, couldn't sleep till probably like 4 or 5, but instead of waking up at 7:30, I slept into like noon. It was like 11:30, 12. So I got like a good 8 hours or close to 8 hours. So that's probably why I feel better. But I think yesterday, the reason I probably couldn't sleep is because I had one of these early before my live. I think I opened it at like, what time did I have my live scheduled like yesterday? feel like I opened it in the afternoon and kind of drank it all throughout the day, but I don't know. So I'm thinking that could have contributed, but the day before I didn't. I don't know why. Now today it's gonna be this. But all right, guys. See ya. Yeah, Jonathan, we'll do it at Idaho, and I'll see you guys. I know my mom's been telling me that she's been giving my grandma it. We've tried everything with my grandma, like the doctors, different medicines and stuff. Nothing knocks her out. Different sleeping medicine, nothing. Magnesium, she tried, and that's what's working. A magnesium at night, and she sleeps. I mean, she's obviously she still gets up sometimes, but that works the best out of everything my mom's tried. That works the best. So my mom's like, my mom says she does it. She'll take one once in a while when she can't sleep, and she says she sleeps so good. So I got to try it. The one girl at my appointment, she said that she does the pill sometimes, and it works kind of good. But she said at this, where was it? She was at some place where they, I don't know, somebody had like a homemade thing, like maybe like a, I don't even know where she was talking about, like a, what do you call it? Where people sell things. I don't know, but they had something where you spray a spray. It's made with magnesium. You spray it on the bottoms of your feet. And she's like, it knocked me out. It's amazing. And so I was like, oh my God, what's it called? And that's what she said. Well, it's just like a homemade that like somebody made it. So I don't like, it's not like you could go buy it, but maybe I could probably find a spray somewhere. She said, I don't know, something about spraying on the bottom of your feet. I don't know. But yeah, docs me. I'm gonna try that. You know what? That's what my mom said. She said that I need to check to see if it interacts with warfarin because I'm on blood thinner. So a lot of things interact. So I gotta look, and if not, I might have her give me one tonight. Well, you know what? I could just look it up now. Hold on. Let me see if it interacts. Because if not, I might go grab one from her. Shoot, it does. Dang it, it increases the risk of bleeding. So it can make my blood more extra thin, so it can make, yeah, I can't. Dang it. Yeah, shoot, I won't be able to take it. This sucks. Anyway, all right, guys. But I bet you the spray under your feet, like I wouldn't see like that's not going into your blood. You know what I'm saying? I would think I would be allowed to do that though. I'd have to ask or look that up. Hold on, spray on your feet. I just gotta see something. Magnesium spray on bottom. I want to see if there's like any research on that benefits. Applying magnesium spray to your feet can create soothing ritual that helps lower stress and promotes a sense of balance. What does it do? It promotes skin health? No. I want to know the tiredness. Okay. May soothe aches and pains. May rest easy. Restless leg syndrome promotes better sleep. May relieve headaches. Migraine may boost skin health. So it's good for your skin too. Muscle relaxant properties. Huh. Hold on. Do you think that do you have any doctors in the house? Do you think that would interact with warfarin like in your blood if it's just a spray? Wonder. You wouldn't think. What do you guys think? No, when you search it, it's just talking about the interaction with magnesium. It's not getting the specific that it's just on your feet. So I don't know. Huh. Magnesium. Wait, hold on. Magnesium spray on feet go into blood. I just want to know if it like goes in. That's what I don't know. Yeah, transdermal absorption can pass through the skin. It can. It can absorb through the bloodstream by being sprayed on your feet, which I guess makes sense because I mean, how is it making you sleep? But it says it can penetrate the skin. Huh. Yeah. Anyway, if anybody else though, try it. You could get this. It sounds like you could get the spray. You can order it. Now it might not be as good as like, homemade or whatever. It could be better. I don't know. So it looks like you could get magnesium spray. She swears it, well, at least for her, everybody's different, that it works way better for sleeping by when she sprayed it on her sleep compared to taking a pill. So yeah, if anybody wants to try it out, let me know. I'll be jealous since I can't do it. Yeah, you could order it. You could order it on Amazon, magnesium oil spray. And like I said, it's supposed to be good for your actual skin, muscle relaxation, improve sleep, manage migraines. And it's doesn't have as many risks like as oral. Like if you have certain things going on health wise, you obviously there's certain things that you shouldn't take for certain things. It looks like maybe gastrointestinal things, maybe magnesium is not good for, but they say with the spray, it's going to be less harmful because it's not going to be as absorbed as like taking it. Just a different. All right, guys. See you, everybody.